Good morning, everyone. We are now live on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Welcome to the UIC's Portmore version of the Walk for Liberty. Everybody is currently on site, and we're going to be showing you footage from the walk in a minute. So my name is Devon Thompson. I am one of 3 vice presidents of the United Independence Congress. I am the Middlesex vice president responsible for marketing, and we have the UIC's other vice presidents on site at Portmore Mall. Right now, we have Ms. Paulette McKenzie, or VP for Surrey, and we have Mr. Winston Wright, or VP for Cornwall. We also have our president, Mr. Joseph Patterson, on site as well, and our general secretary, Kadeem Nelson. Coming on the line with us soon will be Camille, who is our chairperson for the UIC, and she will be my co-host today for the UIC's Portmore version of the Walk for Liberty. And on the line with us here, we also have prospects and supporters and onlookers and viewers on our live stream, who we will be asking questions and asking about their views on what's going on right now on the ground. So until Ms. Camille comes in, I'll show you footage on about what's going on the ground. But before that, quickly, let me tell you what the UIC's Portmore Walk for Liberty is about. The UIC welcomes everyone, regardless of your political affiliation, regardless of your social status in Jamaica, regardless of your religion. It doesn't matter. We invite you all to join the UIC and Walk for Liberty at our Portmore, Spanish Town, Maypen Walks for Liberty. We will be walking island-wide from city to city to city. And this is about the protection of our liberties. This is about the protection of our rights. The UIC is saying that the Jamaican people have a right to choose. And this right to choose includes the right to choose to undergo a medical procedure, or a right not to choose to undergo a medical procedure. And that is what we are defending here today. So welcome again to the UIC's Portmore version of the Walk for Liberty. And this might be a little difficult for some to understand. The Walk for Liberty is also tied up in all the other issues that we're experiencing today as a society. We have the illegal mining issue, where the government is allowing bauxite mining on lands that it does not own. In our opinion, the government does not own this land. There should be no such thing as crown lands in Jamaica. The land here in Jamaica belongs to the people of Jamaica, and we do not give the government of Jamaica any permission to engage in any illegal mining on land. We have the issue of crime. The crime rate in Jamaica is high. People are dying at very high rates. Children are being hurt. Children are dying. Mothers, brothers, sisters are dying. This Walk for Liberty is all connected. High levels of corruption, high levels of poverty. It is all connected. I'm going to tell you why. Because if you do not have liberty, you will not be able to march for those things. You will not be able to march against crime. You can't march against corruption. You cannot march against illegal environmental impact sanctioned by this government. Without liberty, you cannot speak out. You cannot talk against this government or any elected individual. So we have to fight for liberty today so that we can fight tomorrow. I want you to understand, if you give the government an inch, it will take a mile. So join me today. Join me in saying to the government today that our rights, our liberties, or the security of the person, our right to freedom, our right to freely travel, freedom of movement, freedom to assembly, those rights should not be infringed upon. And we ask the government to ensure that the people of Jamaica have access to transparent and factual information, which they have not done so far. They have not alerted the Jamaican people to the choice that they have. They have not alerted the Jamaican people to the choices that they have. And due to that, the Jamaican people believe that there's only one way to end this pandemic. And we rate that as false. The UIC has, over the past couple of months, provided information to the government and to the people of Jamaica from credible sources that this is not the only way to end this pandemic. We can do it, but we have to do it together as a team. So I'm going to show you footage from the ground right now at the UIC's Walk for Liberty. Kadim, if you can hear me, you can turn your mic on. You're going to be
our refuge. Come, behold the works of the Lord. What desolations he hath made in the earth. For he maketh wars to cease unto the end of the earth. He breaks the bow and cuts the spear in sunder. He burns the chariot in fire. Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the heathen. I will be exalted in the earth. 11 and last. The Lord of hosts is with us, and the God of Jacob is our refuge. This is the word of the Lord. Hallelujah. Thanks be to God. I just want to add right there that we serve a mighty God. We serve an awesome God. We serve a God that has all power to do whatever he wishes, and he is God. And so we're just gonna pray. Hallelujah. Father, we bless you this morning. We magnify you. Father, we exalt your precious, majestic name. Father, we thank you this morning that you are God and that you are mighty and strong. Father, we thank you that you're omnipotent. This morning, you are Jehovah, the Most High God, Yahweh, and you reign and rule with all power. Father, we come before you this morning. Glory to God. To exalt you. Jesus, we thank you for this day. This is the day that you have made, and we rejoice and we are glad. Father, we thank you for life and that more abundantly. Lord, we ask this morning that as we assemble as a people, hallelujah, called by your name, that you will wash us in your blood. Forgive us of our sins. Father, all have sinned and come short of your glory. But Father, we confess our sins this morning, knowing you are faithful and just to forgive us of our sins and to cleanse us from all unrighteousness. Father, we just commit this day into your hand. Father, this is not a buck up to you. Father, you have purposed, hallelujah, that this day we should stand up, rise up, and be counted. Father, as we go out this morning, we ask for your presence to be with us. Father, Moses said, Lord, if your presence doesn't go, I won't go. So Father, like him, we are saying, if your presence doesn't come with us, we won't go. And so we invoke your presence this morning, mighty God. We ask that you will cover us under your blood. Father, we loose angels this morning, angels of protection to surround us. Father, even as we just pray that you are in our midst and we shall not be moved, you shall help us. You are our help, and that right early. And so, Father, we just ask that you will cover us this morning from the crown of our heads to the soles of our feet. Father, we decree and declare no weapon formed against us shall prosper. In the mighty name of Jesus, Father, we condemn and curse and silence any and every tongue speaking against us. This is your doing, and it is marvelous in our sight. Father, go with us. We ask for journeying mercies. May you be a hedge around us. May you surround us with your fire, and may your perfect will be done. In Jesus' mighty name, amen.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you, Renila. Okay. Right now we're going to have the briefing done by me. I'll show you what's up on the camera. Hello everyone. Thank you for coming out. You know, it's a Saturday. One or two, depending on your job, only 3 days they have to recuperate from the week. You know, a lot has been going on. A lot of changes, some are in the air, some rumors, some more than rumors, you know. And we are here to say that we know our rights. We are learning more about Jamaica and we want to help Jamaica. We are going to show the powers that they are not put there for us to serve them. They are put there to serve us, right? And if they can't do a good job, well, we'll do a better one, right? So we're here, as you know, to do a walk. We're doing a walk to spread the word about the UIC and our message. But if we want to our name needs to be in the we have to maintain social. We want to either proceed from here to going around the rock all the way around the top. This is some good workout today. Come back around here, right? When we come back around, then we will have speeches by 2 persons and our UFC person, right? Then depending on how everything is, the circumstances, how we feel like we can do another walk, we'll go and do another walk. We want to leave here by about the 12:30. Don't want to be around here too. I don't want to take up too much of your time, right? So well, here's one I feel was fair enough. When more people come, we want to have it organized. So apart, along with the 6 feet social distancing, we want to have it in 2 lines, right? Also, we don't want to engage in any indecency, vulgarity, anything like that. We're not going to do any personal attacks on this person or anything like that. No, if somebody comes up to you and is being aggressive, do your best to try and diffuse the situation. If you can, refer to First Lady or President or somebody else, right? That can focus the situation. But we're not out here to start trouble. We're out here to just send a message and to make ourselves known, right? There are hand sanitizers available and water for whoever needs it. Those are provided. We have passports. And we have our we have our security advisor here, Winston. He will be going over the security measures that we will have going forward. Morning, everyone. I'm David. Every day is an important. The simple reason why is that our very lives, our very freedom is about. Today we're taking a very important step. We're taking a message.
So we're having some. So we're having some technical difficulties there. It looks like they froze. So let's try to see if we can get them back on.
Put your social distance. I'll be in the back, Robert will be in the front. Now, in the 2 line, if someone stop to engage someone, let us all just move the pause, and if there are other persons in the region, we can try to engage them as well. But let's not leave someone behind. Okay? When we're moving again, we move together. There's a situation that you're uncomfortable with, just nod, smile, and walk away. Robert and I will be monitoring. Okay? If the situation escalates, I might go and do it. I'm gonna ask you all to retreat to a safe area. Usually, opposite sides. If we are walking on the left, I'm not going to move to the right, where you assemble again, keep distance away and watch. And if you can record, please record. Right? And again, we are not going to be vulgar or confrontational. If there is a concern about someone or something someone said, also please point that out to us when we go watch it. So we will notice that. Okay? Most importantly, let's be our brother's keeper. All right? Thank you again. And sanitize social distance.
Okay, we'll hold it on. One more thing. Yes, there is one more thing that I neglected to say. To keep things orderly, we don't want any confusion, or we are going to have 3 chants. Right? The first one is I will say, or cheerleader will say, "United, what are we?" And the response is united. Right? So united, what are we?
United.
Okay, I didn't. Sorry. Let's try it again. United, what are we?
United.
Okay. The second one is no force, no fraud. Right? So no force.
No fraud.
No force.
No fraud.
Right. And the third one.
My body.
Oh yes, the third one. Most important. It's like the most important one. I'll put it for you. My body, my choice. Right. So my body,
My choice.
my body,
My choice.
did you hear in the back? My body,
My choice.
all right, there you go. All right, from the top is united. What are we?
United.
My body,
My
My choice.
no force.
No
No
fraud.
fraud.
Okay, I think you have it.
What's the next step?
Oh, we can proceed now. We can proceed with the marches. Yes, we can just start. So let's form 2 lines. Social distancing.
The sign.
Oh.
The sign.
Concentrated. Yes. So speak to Mrs. Paxton. No.
Yes. So that's the UIC on the ground. They've started a bit early. The Walk for Liberty is supposed to start at 10 a.m. So we're expecting a few more people to join us there. We have on the line with us here Ms. Camille Gurjani. She's the UIC's chairperson. I'm going to ask her to come on the line and introduce herself.
Good morning, everyone. Camille Gurjani here, UIC Chairman. Welcome. Thank you for being here with us. This excited walk for freedom, liberty. I'm so glad to see that at least we at the UIC are the only people in Jamaica that has the, I'm going to say, gumption to, and the tenacity to decide, you know what, enough is enough, and we have to take a stand against this type of tyranny, and we cannot afford to let it go. And so welcome to the walk, and we're excited for this time. Thank you so much for being here with us, and we look forward to the next couple of hours together.
Yes, we also have on the line here a few guests while they get their signs out and prepare to walk. I'm going to invite, I believe we have Cernet here, one of our UIC members here. Okay, I don't think Cernet is here. Andrea, are you here with us? Andrea, are you here with us? Okay. Yeah, I think Andrea and so Cernet jumped off. I think Andrea might have taken a step out. Okay, so let's go back to the footage and let's see what's going on. Okay, guys, we're not hearing you. Can you unmute? Let's find out what's going on down there. Guys, we're not hearing you.
Hi, Devon.
Yes, Mr. Winston Wright, is that you?
It is I, the one and only.
Okay, what is that sign saying? What is that?
It says, employers, not masters. Stop the jobs for jobs.
What does that mean?
It means that Jamaicans will not stand to be subjugated ever again. That the job is a contract between employer and employee for mutual exchange of services.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you want to force us to take an experimental medication, then it's no longer an exchange, but a hold-up. And that is what the UIC stands against. Fraudulent transaction, forceful transaction, anything that deprives both parties from mutual, consensual, beneficial exchange.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying the employers are breaking the contract between themselves and the employee.
That is correct. If you are employed, if you have been employed, and now you are being told that you need to take a vaccine to continue your employment or provide test results to continue that employment, that is discrimination. And the UIC will help our members hold accountable any member of the business community who participates in this farce.
Mm-hmm. So that means employers can be held liable, legally liable for anything that happens, even if it's a slight injury to a person who is now employed. They can be held legally liable and made pay for the injury. All right.
That is correct, Evan. In unionized circle from which I run, that is called altering the terms of an agreement without consent.
So they're altering the terms of your employment without your consent.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. I understand. Let me see another sign.
Now, there are lots of signs out here. Here's my favorite one. Now, our notable minister, and I was told to be civil, so I will not call him a cad or a coward or a heartless bastard. Okay? But he has announced that 12-year-olds will now be eligible for the job. And guess what? My middle child, and I love all my children, just turned 12. And he will not get his hands on her, not anytime soon.
Mm-hmm.
My kids are sovereign individuals. I have care and custody of them until they become of age, where they make their own choices. And I will protect them until that day when they can choose for themselves.
Your children are your responsibility, not the government's responsibility.
Not the government responsibility. They weren't there for the creation or the care.
Yeah.
So you see, when you have a government as a big brother, as a daddy devil, a government that believes they are all to you, this is the kind of tyranny that you face. Yes. They believe that since they can give you things, they can use that to take away things.
So you see, the only jurisdiction that the government has with your children is if you take away the rights of your own children, or if you infringe upon the rights of your own children. But so long as you have not committed a criminal offense, your children are your responsibility and they are under your protection.
That is correct, Devon. That is the parental guidelines that I ascribe to. And my kids receive the best of care, physical and emotional. Okay, and I'm sure every other Jamaican parent does their best to provide physically and emotionally for their kids, to engender their development to become very productive Jamaicans. But this government that believes that it is all to everyone, wrongly I should add, has created obstacles to their continued education, not just this year, not just last year, but for decades before. They have been robbing from the coffers, indebted the country to the point where every child, whether just born this minute or 12 years ago, is an indebted member of this Jamaican population. And the UIC will not stand for that. They lied to us about our independence. They tricked us and robbed the public purses, plundered our natural resources. And now it's time for Jamaicans to take a stand.
Yes.
We now know that we are not free. We now know that we are under their clutches because they seek to force on us what we refuse to accept. They believe that they can continue to do so just like they have for the past 55 years. It's time to stop this. It's time for the people's power to be recognized.
So let me
that is my mantra, Devon.
Let me ask you a question, Mr. Wright. What will happen if we don't stand up for our liberties today?
If you don't stand up, you won't have liberties. You never knew you had it in the first place. Anything not used is lost. Anything not used is lost, Devon. And we have on only rarest of occasions exercised certain rights that we have because we believe that our father in government, wrongfully so, will fix things. But we as a people need to start taking things into our own hands, recognize our own sovereignty and fixing our problems. Restrict the government to its common roles, where it provides common goods and services for all based on their taxation. Not handouts, but work to make everybody productive, not favoritism, not garrisons, not political cronyism, not the family dynasty that they have been creating over the years.
So some people have been saying, the UIC has been promoting this Walk for Liberty for a while. Some people have been saying, commenting under the UIC's post, UIC, why don't you march against crime? Why don't you march against corruption? Why don't you march against all of these things in Jamaica? Why are you marching against? What are you marching for? What are you doing? People are asking that question. So I'm going to pose that question to you so that you can respond to them right here and now.
The UIC has always stood against crime and always stood against corruption. The UIC has been standing. Now, we have not gone out publicly because the UIC is a small movement, but we have been in cyberspace in a very large way. Yes. If anybody doubt our resolve to solve crime, end political and public corruption, check out our Facebook page where all our posts, all our press releases that have gone unpublished, all our material, including a synopsis of our crime plan that we currently have an active committee working on, a committee made up of industrial specialists, security specialists of Jamaican ancestry in the diaspora and locally, working to create a crime plan, not to create a police force or a personalized army or a dictatorship, but a plan to tackle the real crime that plagues Jamaica at whatever level that criminality is. So we are against all of this. And the UIC just don't talk, we do. That's why you don't see us talking to the government about fix crime, because the government is complicit in the crime. So we can't ask them to fix something that they have fostered for the past 55 years.
So
we have taken
Devon,
it
we need
onto ourselves.
we have other folks on the ground and they're trying to find our group of folks here. Winston, we have folks in front of the Captain's Bakery. Where are you guys right now?
All right, so we are in front of Captain's Bakery.
In the parking lot, right?
In the parking lot. So anybody that is in the region and want to congregate with us, come into the parking lot at Captain's Bakery.
Okay.
Okay.
And see if you could send somebody to the front, to make yourselves visible so that people passing by can see you guys. All right.
Let me make sure they're at Portmore Mall. Hold on.
So let me ask you another question, Mr. Wright. Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you, Devon.
So some people who don't understand or stand on this issue, some of them are coming under oppose. They're calling the UIC, they're making threats. Some of them are sending death threats. The president's wife has received death threats from Jamaicans who don't like what we're doing, you know, threats to kill, threats to hurt, threats to harm. What would you say to those people who are literally threatening the lives of UIC members and the life of the UIC president's wife?
What I'll say to this person or these persons or these individuals is that they have now justified the UIC stance. The UIC understands that Jamaicans have now become callous and cold as to the value of life and the value of each other. The Bakramasa has thus fighting against each other for the past 55 years, even after we fought each other on the plantation for Bakramasa's favor. And we continue to do so. These politicians are each other's cousins and brother-in-laws and sister-in-laws and even wives and husbands. They don't behave the way we do. They just gang together and rob us blind. So why are they threatening the president's wife for emphasizing what the Constitution guarantees us? A right to associate, a freedom of choice, and individual sovereignty. And we know the Constitution is fraudulent, but they are dumb to that fact. And while I'm not being accusatory or rude to my Jamaican brother, I'd invite whomever that made that threat to read the Constitution and see what was promised, then taken away in the next paragraph. Right? It's the same mentality that pushed Marcus Garvey out of local politics in favor of these neo-colonialists who have robbed us blind for 55 years to make Jamaica the most indebted country in the world.
And you know, this is not new because the UIC president himself has received threats that they're going to burn his farm to the ground. You know? So what we're experiencing is not new. So we ask the Jamaican people to, yes, have some compassion and understand the position that the UIC is coming from. What the UIC is saying here is that we want people to have.
But you notice, Devon, in the UK, the streets are filled with people. In Italy, in Australia, in America, and they aren't threatening each other to kill each other. It's only the black man. Right? In Europe, police and retired soldiers came out to protect protesters from the state. Right? In South America, the same thing. Okay? And throughout Europe, protesters gathered peacefully in massive numbers and went about their protest unhindered. But it's only in Jamaica where our population is predominantly black. We want to kill each other for the Bakramasa's favor. instead of understanding that our sovereignty is at stake, our right to choose, the right of our children to choose their destiny is at stake. We prefer the comfort of Bakra's toilet, which they have us in, than to build a mansion for ourselves. But the UIC will change all of that.
Yeah, man, this is
Amen to that, brother.
Yeah.
Very well said. Very well said, Mr. Wright.
So, and you know, one of the reasons why this is happening is because politicians have split Jamaica into two tribes, and this is a tactic not used just by the Jamaican government, it's used by governments over the world. They split people into 2 or 3 different camps so that they reduce the power and they reduce the communication between these peoples. Because if people were able to unite and act as one, the government could not engage. Government could not engage in the activities that it is engaging.
But you know what, Devon, if I may interject, I keep thinking about this person that made that threat. I would love to talk to that person, you know, without any anger or animosity, and help that person understand, or help that person help me understand his point of view, why he needed to do that. Yes. I would really love to have that conversation. I tell you, because I need to understand what is so broken in my Jamaican brother that he would kill his next brother over a concept that is guaranteed to everyone at birth by virtue of him taking his first breath. Okay? Yes. I would want to understand what is so broken in my Jamaican brother, why he would want to take his brother's life over a concept that he's fighting for, not for himself, but for every single Jamaican. Yes. And whether this person believes in what is going on, yea or nay, that is not the issue. It's that you need to choose. Just like he wants to be free to choose, we want to be free to choose.
And you know, we have a voice note of one of those men saying that all of us should be lined up on a wall and shot. That's the commentary that we're getting from our Jamaican brothers and sisters. And of course, not everybody's like that. Not everybody is saying that. We believe that there's a sect of Jamaica who understands what we are saying. And these are the people in Portmore that are supporting our message. We have received overwhelming support from the people of Portmore. The negative comments.
I am heartened to know that those who would do us harm are in the minority, Devon. Because one of the things that the UIC stand for, and it is again an inalienable right, and it is the right to life, which you will preserve. And I leave it at that.
Just to backtrack for a moment, Winston and Devon, regarding the parties and the division, you know, this is by design by the, you know, colonial masters. You divide and then you conquer. I mean, it's just totally by design. I mean, in America, it's the same thing. In England, it's the same thing. Everywhere you go, two fights against each other. And that way you can't achieve unity, you know, and it's by design, because if we're united, you know, the good that we would do, the damage that we would do to the colonial powers and their control over our lives, our livelihood, the condition we live in, and all that. So.
Well said, Madam Chair. Well said.
So your video is off, Winston. So what are we doing now?
Devon, can I just sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
We're mobilizing, we're forming up.
Camille, you were saying something?
Yes, I was going to just do a quick run through of the UIC health and safety protocol reminders.
Sorry, Madam Chair, I missed that. Can you say again?
Yeah, I was just going to do a quick run through on our health and safety protocols for the walk. Just make sure you remind, you know, that they're reminded to wear their masks, keep distance, wash and sanitize their hands, use disposable gloves whenever necessary, and do not litter. Make sure we clean up after ourselves, set a good example. And I know we've already checked to ensure that if anyone had symptoms that they were not going to be allowed in the, to walk with us, and to ensure that we follow the curfew hours and make sure everyone is aware that they need to drink their water, take umbrella to make sure they stay hydrated. Just a quick run through of a few of the health and safety protocols for our walk.
Okay, Winston, let's see what's going on. Let's hear you guys. And use up those megaphones so we can hear what you're saying. Winston, are they using the megaphones? We can't hear them. And we have our walk for liberty there. This is my city here. This is where I grew up. Spent most of my life here.
Wow.
You see, you hear that? That's the support.
Yes.
Should we go against traffic? Should we go against traffic? All right, so let's find a place to stop and go again.
We're not hearing, are they using the megaphones, Winston?
Yeah.
Yes, they are. But the background noise, the road noises are high.
Mm-hmm.
And we're spread out. One from two.
So we're getting some support there from the people there. You hear those horns honking?
One from two. Yeah, one. We should do an about case and go against traffic. Let's see if we can get that organized. Right choice. Say that again, one. Copy that. G. You see them invade Maroon land other day.
As a reminder, Winston, so a reminder to keep the social distance. Remind everyone to keep their social distancing.
Guys, distance. Distance, guys.
Devon.
Yes, Miss.
I think we should have said the walk is at 9 a.m. Oh my goodness.
Lots of people wish they could be here, and that's why they're on the Zoom today. Zem, is that UIC here? Zem?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So what's going on? And how come we're not seeing you at the walk?
No, actually, as I said before, my wife had this disposal at Pika. You know, so we had somebody to actually look after my daughter,
Mhm.
but the person didn't turn up, so I have to be here, bro.
Okay, understood, understood.
But I still waiting, doing her. So I still hoping that she gets here so I can make my way over.
Yeah, yeah. So what do you think about what's going on, Zem?
Yeah, well, as I said before, I actually love what's going on because, you know, it kind of disarmed to see the general population in Jamaica, oh, they're not seeing exactly what's going on. As a young man, we can't understand that.
Mhm.
You know, it doesn't seem like people able to follow rational and logic. I get the sense that people brain lazy.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Nobody's reading, nobody's following the news. I mean, they're seeing the information, but I mean, yeah, I know that people suffer from cognitive dissonance, but I never know it was to this extent, as I
Yes.
said before.
Yes.
You know what I
And
mean?
Well said.
you know, one of the reasons for that is, so we always say that it's not necessarily because people don't want to access the information or don't want to know what the truth is. It's because they're only hearing one side. They're not being exposed to all the information. Part of the information are being hidden and are being omitted. And that's why the UIC is starting to push some of that information out there into the world for the Jamaican people to see. Because I believe that once we're fully informed and once transparent and clear information is presented to the Jamaican people, they can protect themselves from this virus. You know, we don't need to infringe upon the rights of citizens to control this virus. What we need is clear and transparent information so that people can more adequately protect themselves. We interviewed a doctor last week, Saturday, during the Hero Circle Walk for Liberty. We interviewed a doctor, and that doctor provided us with the different choices available to treat COVID-19. And he's a Toronto-based doctor with 28 years of experience and has never lost a COVID-19 patient. So you see, the government is holding back information and they're not telling the Jamaican people about what's going on in Canada, what's going on in the US, what's going on in the UK, in Australia, in New Zealand, in Nigeria, in Ghana. They're trying their best to put the Jamaican people into a bubble where that information can't get in. The only way to access that information is if you go beyond the Jamaica Gleaner, go beyond the Jamaica Observer, go beyond the government of Jamaica, and you have to seek out that information for yourself. Go into Google or go into DuckDuckGo, whatever it is, and just type in Nigeria, type in Ghana. Use your own mental capacity to find out what's going on in these countries. Why is it that Nigeria has 209 million people, but only 2,000 people died of COVID-19?
Yeah.
Why? You need to be able to do your own research. Look at Haiti. Haiti, they have worse hospital conditions than we do. And they live in worse conditions than we do. And many of them can't afford to social distance. Ask yourself, why is it that COVID-19 has not seriously affected them as it has affected other countries, Canada and the US? We have to start asking questions and stop attacking people who are asking questions.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though, Devon. We don't have to exactly go outside of Jamaica to observe these things, you know. I mean, in the garrison, in the ghetto, as we say here in Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, people in the garrison don't live by no protocol, none at all. If you go in any drive through any garrison after curfew hours, you see mass gathering. And if this was something to kill off people, all of the people are gonna get to a dead long time. Quite frankly.
You raise a very good point, Zem.
You know what I mean?
Because it's serious. From January of 2020, because the virus was spreading since November of 2019.
Virus, quote unquote virus.
It was spreading from November of 2019. They knew about it.
Yeah.
Okay. So this was most likely in Jamaica before anybody even knew about it. Okay. So then now in March, they're saying, oh my gosh, this thing is here and this is happening. So between March and I don't know when the first set of vaccines were distributed in Jamaica, maybe February of this year. Am I correct?
Hold on a second, Devon. Let's see what's happening on the ground. There's a police officer.
Okay, let's see. Winston, unmute your mic. Unmute your mic, Winston.
Let's hear what's happening. He's giving us a citation to walk.
No, not a citation.
If you want to continue with it now, it's up to you guys, but I'm not giving you the message. I don't know what after. Whatever action them
Alright, so we got it. And what was the message from DSP Campbell, officer?
March is not authorized, it's unauthorized march, but it's not a march.
Okay, right. So
No, I'm not giving you the message.
yeah, man.
I'm just telling you what you told me to tell you.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna give my feedback now. So I talk to you who's in charge, and then
Right.
if they want to take further action, it's up to them, not me. So I'm not gonna give my feedback now.
We're walking, we're having a walk, that's a march.
Okay, I will tell you what you
All right, take care, yeah? All the best.
Alright, officer, thank you for your time. Hold this on me.
United! United! United!
Winston, can you get an update on what just happened?
Hold on, Devon. Something is happening. Winston, we'll get back to you. Talk to you.
Devon.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we were just stopped by a police.
The camera is off.
Oh. You seen it now?
Yeah.
All right, so we were just stopped by a policeman. If you look good over there, can you see him?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, so he was saying that the superintendent sent a message that the march is unauthorized, and he just came to collect our information, saying things like, "What should we can continue if you want, but should we continue?" You know, he doesn't know what further action they will take. So right now, Joseph is deliberating on. Okay, we're going to continue. You get all that, Devon?
Yeah, I got all of that. What is Joseph saying?
Oh, he's saying to continue.
What are we? United, what are we? I can hear you. No force. No force. No force. My body. My body. My body. No force. No force. No force. My body. My body. My body. United, what are we? So give me a U. Give me an N.
N.
Give me an I.
I.
Give me a T.
T.
Give me an E.
E.
Give me a D.
D.
Does that spell united?
Yes.
Does that spell united?
Yes. United.
Give me an L.
L.
Give me an I.
I.
Give me a B.
B.
Give me an E.
E.
Give me an R.
R.
Give me a T.
T.
Give me a Y.
Y.
What does that spell?
Liberty.
What are we?
United.
What are we?
United.
What are we?
United.
So no force.
No fraud.
No force.
No fraud.
No force.
No fraud.
My body.
My choice.
My body.
My choice.
My body.
My choice.
My body.
My choice.
So Kadim,
Yeah.
so he's saying the superintendent sent him to interact with us.
Yeah.
Okay, we need to find out what the name of the superintendent is for this region.
Did you get the name of the superintendent?
Yes.
I talk to Devon.
Hi, Devon.
Yes, Mr. Patterson.
Yes, so the superintendent is DSP Campbell. He sent a message to us to notify us that what he calls a march is unauthorized, and we informed him that we don't have a march, we have a walk. So he's to take that message back to DSP Campbell. The name of the officer is Mr. Robinson. And we had a cordial exchange, and he says he's only the messenger. And so we continue to walk, which is our legal right to do.
Okay, we have some more people en route. Some people are late, but they are on their way. We're gonna let them know where you guys are. So
yes, man, we're going around the roundabout.
Yes,
on the walk. So just tell them to come and join us.
Yeah, we're going to be sending a letter to DSP. What's his name?
DSP Campbell. DSP Campbell.
We're going to be sending a letter to DSP Campbell, and we're going to see where this goes. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
All right. Try to get the crowd to get a little bit closer together.
Yeah.
It's too dispersed. Yes. Good. Yes, my brother. Nothing much. How are you doing? How you feel about all this lockdown stuff here?
Not good, not good.
No, we're tired, right? No, so.
Not good, yeah.
How is it affecting you?
What it's really about, you know?
Yeah.
It's something else, you know?
What do you think it is?
Total control.
Absolutely.
Total control.
Absolutely, my brother.
We are citizens of Jamaica.
Yes, we're free people.
We're
supposed to be free people.
We were born free.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't want to take it away from you now.
Yeah.
I don't want to take away freedom.
Yes, and we're not in.
We're not going to
roll over.
We're not going to allow that.
No, not at all.
Not at all. And you know what?
We don't want your freedom.
Absolutely.
You're not supposed to want.
Absolutely, my brother. What's your name, sir?
The name is Owen.
Owen, lovely to meet you. This is the United Independence Congress.
Yeah.
And we're trying to tell Jamaicans to stand up for the rights.
Okay then.
You understand? So thank you for joining us. Appreciate it. All the best.
Mr. Patterson, is that Owen Rowe?
No, you're not Rowe, are you?
Yes, I am.
Oh, this is Mr. Owen Rowe.
Yes,
I didn't even notice it's you, sir. This is Mr. Owen Rowe.
Yeah.
All right, grab this for me now. You want to join us?
Yes.
All right, that's yours. Yes, man. Come along. Yes, my brother. Yes, my brother. We're going to try to. Let's try to catch up with the rest of them, eh?
What's that?
Oh, they have. So Devin, I'm trying to walk up to catch up with the rest of the people, eh?
No, you need to run, get some exercise, man. You have to build the immune system because you have to fight off this
absolutely.
virus. You know,
so but I won't run. I don't want to fall.
Right? And hydrate yourself. Sophia Murray is in the comment and she's giving us
United. United. No fraud. No fraud. No fraud. No fraud. My body. My United.
What are we?
United.
Give me a U.
U.
Give me an N.
N.
Give me an I.
I.
Give me a T.
T.
Give me an E.
E.
Give me a D.
E.
Come on now. What do we have?
Unity. United.
What do we have?
United.
Come on. What are we?
United.
What are we?
United.
What are we?
United.
No fraud.
No fraud.
No
No
fraud.
fraud.
No fraud.
No fraud.
My body.
My choice.
My body.
My choice.
My body.
My choice.
No fraud.
No fraud.
No fraud.
No force.
No
Force.
fraud.
Force. No force. No force.
Devon, Zim.
Yes.
One sec, let me mute.
Yes, man. No.
One sec, Zem.
Oh no, just asking a question now. We have
Sure, go ahead.
Get up.
we have armed security on the ground, right?
Give up the fight.
Yes.
Get up. Stand up.
Okay.
Yeah, we have security at the program, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Winston Wright, our one of our VPs, heads up that.
Yes, man.
You better get up, stand up. Stand up.
Oh, you're right.
You better get up, stand up.
Yes.
Don't give up the fight. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your right.
My choice. Catch up, catch up. Step on it. You're welcome, right there.
Joseph, remind everyone to social distance so that we stay within the DRMA.
My choice.
Yeah, because you don't want to give them any loophole to run in, you understand?
No fraud. No fraud. My choice. My choice. My choice. United. 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 No. No. No fraud. No fraud. No fraud. No fraud. No fraud. No fraud. My choice. My choice. My choice. My choice. Yeah.
Give me an I.
I.
Give me a B.
B.
Give me an E.
E.
Give me an R.
R.
Give me a T.
T.
Give me a Y.
Y.
What does that spell?
Liberty. 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 No fraud. No fraud. No fraud. No fraud. My choice. My choice. My choice. My choice.
Keep the social distance. Joseph,
Slow down a bit, guys. Spread out a bit. Space, space, space. Not too close.
We gotta stay within the DRMA because we don't want DSP Campbell sending his officers for us.
Stand up. Don't give up the fight. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your right. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Let me borrow the sign here for you. Stand up. Don't give up the fight.
Get up, stand up. Oh, stand up for your right. You better get up, stand up. And don't give up the fight. Oh, you must fight. Be brave against your evil. I never run. I never left behind. If you win for God and your right, keep on the fire and shine. Oh, you better fight. Be brave against your evil. I never run. I never left behind. If we win for God and your right, keep on the fire and shine. Oh, you better fight. Be brave.
Hey, Joseph, don't forget to keep those flyers up.
Never run,
Come on, they're
I
doing
never
that.
left behind. If
doing
we
that, man.
win
Giving it
for
up.
God and the right, keep on the fire.
Hi, Mrs. T.
Give me an A. Give me an I.
Oh,
Give me a B.
B.
Give me an E.
E.
Give me an R.
R.
Give me a T.
T.
Give me a Y.
Y.
What does that spell?
Liberty.
What does that spell?
Liberty.
United, what are we?
United.
United, what are we?
United.
United, what are we?
United.
No fraud.
No fraud.
No fraud.
No fraud. No fraud. My choice. 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 No force. No fraud. No fraud. No fraud. L. I. B. E.
To me and get
You get tired? I'll take it back for me in a bit.
Yes, sir.
Take the price. Hold it right here, it's a little weak.
There's so much things. There's so much things conspiring against you.
No. You will make it through.
Yes.
No fraud. My choice. My choice. My choice. My choice. Here we go, sir. My choice. My choice. My choice. My body. My body. My body. My body. Unite us. What are we? What are we? What are we? My body. My body. My body. No force. No force. No force. No force. My body. My body. My body. Unite us. What are we? What are we? What are we? My body. My choice. All right. Oh, your stick fall off. My body. My body. My body. My body. My body. My body. No force. No force. No force. No force. No force. My body. My body. My body. My body. No force. No force. My body. My body. My body. No force. No force. No force. My body. My body. What are we? What are we? What are we? My body. My choice. My body. My choice. My body. My choice. No, what are we? What are we? What are we? What are we? My body. My body. My body. My body. My choice. My choice. My body, man. My choice. My choice. My choice. My body. My body. My choice. My choice. My body. All right.
Reminder, keep the social distance.
My body, my choice. My body, my choice. My body, my choice. My body, my choice. Yes.
Mr. Patterson, I'm gonna mute you for a second, okay?
Sorry?
I'm gonna mute you for a second. When you get
Sure.
here, when you complete the first rotation,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Stand up.
okay?
Stand up. Stand up.
Oh, you're right. Get up, stand up.
So as you can see, the Walk for Liberty is going well. And you saw where, what's the name of the officer again? Officer Robertson had stopped the walkers. He says he was sent by DSP Campbell, I guess of the Portmore police station, the 100-man police station. But they explained to them that, you know, we're just walking for our liberty. This is not a march. This is not classified as a protest. They're walking for their liberty. As you can see, they're following the DRMA. They're following the rules. They are masked and they are social distancing. So therefore, the police have no business interrupting or bothering these law-abiding citizens who are only exercising their right to freedom of movement. There are people across the street walking. You know, there are people in the Portmore Mall walking right now. Will the police interrupt the people? You know, so the next time the police shows up, we're gonna have to ask them to talk to the people on the other side who are also walking. Okay, it's not illegal to hold a sign. It's not illegal to speak through a megaphone. It's not illegal to stand up for your rights, or is it? You know, but we can see that the Jamaican people, the people in Portmore, are actually supporting the UIC. We hear the horns honking, we see the windows winding down. So there's lots of support for what we are doing. And they won't tell you this, that the media won't tell you this, the government of Jamaica won't tell you this, because they don't want you to know that there are people on your side. They don't want you to know. There are people who believe the same things that you believe. There are people who feel the same things that you feel. You have supporters. So there's no need to feel like you're alone again. Lots of Jamaicans have been put into a box, and because of this box that they're put into, they're experiencing mental issues, social issues, because they feel as if their voice does not matter. They feel as if the government doesn't care, and their fellow citizens don't care. Jamaicans don't care, because whenever they speak up, they're attacked. They're attacked for asking questions, right? And we want that to end. They're going to be completing their first rotation now. So let's get back to the stream. Okay, Mr. Patterson, let's hear what's going on. Mr. Patterson, you can unmute. Okay. See if we can get them to unmute their microphone. All right. Mr. Patterson, if you're hearing me, you can unmute your microphone. You're approaching your first rotation. We're expecting to hear something from you guys.
But I have to say, Devon, you know, this is a picture of, or let me say, it's a picture of our standard. What I mean by that is when UIC does get in power, not a if, it's a when. We do get in power, and our goal is to get elected in the next election. So I mean, look at our shirts. They're beautiful. They're, you know, everything, the signs, everything is done in a spirit of excellence. Everything is orderly. I mean, just the standard that we're setting, even with this walk right here, it's just beautiful. I love it. The standard, that the message that we're sending is that we're not going to do things slapshod. We're going to do the best. And everything is done in a spirit of excellence.
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's right. As you can see, they're social distancing and they're abiding by the DRMA while protecting their rights. And as you can see, the police did show up and the police did interrupt the walkers, even though they were not breaking any laws. Mr. Patterson, you're muted. You're muted. Let's hear what's going on. So you guys are back at the back of the Captain's Bakery. If you guys can hear me, can you unmute?
Yes, Devon, how are you doing?
Yes.
Oh, let's get everybody some water. I'm going to open the back here. We'll get some water here. Yes, you can go over there.
Yes, yeah, definitely stay hydrated. Hey,
Yeah.
Sophia, Peter Gay,
Let's get some
Sheldon,
water for everybody. You can lean up the signs there.
Ivani, Tyrone, thanks for joining us on the live stream.
Open the back here. Let's get some water out.
And we see Leon, we see
go.
Teller, we see Richard McFarlane, Brian Kesto.
Let's give everybody water for me, please.
Finally.
We see
Yes, Mr. Rose. Face to face,
Joseph,
my brother. Face to face.
Thanks, guys, for joining us on the live.
We also see Roshik, Andrew, Adrian, Cernet, Craig. Thank you so much for joining us here on our Zoom. Zem, of course, we've been speaking with you earlier. Thank you for being here with us, for being a part of this freedom walk. We're taking a stand as Jamaicans for our country, and even for those other Jamaicans who have not joined us, we're still standing for them.
Mm-hmm. And as Ms. Johnny said, the UIC is we're showing an example. We're showing that you can be safe and still fight for your liberty. So for anyone that was was afraid or you weren't sure if you should come, you can see there that everybody is following the rules. They're masked. They have hand sanitizers there. They have their umbrellas. Hey, Kadim, the people want to hear from you. What's going on? So Kadim is our General Secretary for the UIC. Let's get Kadim on the line. I want to hear from you.
Let me get Kadim here. Kadim, they want to hear from you, sir.
All right, so we just did our first lap. We had a minor inconvenience, but we didn't let that stop us. We have to get the word out. We have to get the word out, our name into people's ears, so that they can in turn get it into other people's ears, because the powers that be are going to fight us at every turn. I mean, that happened a while ago with the minor inconvenience, and it's probably only going to get worse as we push more.
Here, baby, what they say, what you should have done is
No, we're good. We have a right to walk.
Yeah.
And so we're walking.
We have a right to walk.
Yeah, so we're walking.
But it's not, I don't
so we don't need to ask the police or the Prime Minister's permission to walk.
That's true.
So we're walking.
But
if they stop us and ask us, which we did, they did, we let them know that we're walking. And it's never been outlawed for Jamaicans to walk.
And
the day come when the outlaws from walking, we have a serious problem. So we're not going to stop walking. Yes, we're not going to stop. And when you walk, you can talk. In fact, you can even shout. There's no law against shouting. There's no law against talking. There's no law against walking. And the moment they have a law that says you can't walk and you can't talk, then it's serious problem. Serious problem. Yeah, exactly. And right now we have a serious problem because they want to stop us from walking and talking. They want to stop us from associating. We can't go to church. We can't associate. So there's a problem with that. We will not allow that.
Mr. Patterson.
We will not allow that.
Mr. Patterson.
Yes, Devon, I can't hear you. Speak up a bit for me.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
When this is done, before you leave, you gotta give Captain's Bakery some strength. Okay, make sure you buy something from them so they don't.
Absolutely.
Yeah, make
as a matter of fact, I'm going to check with them now, see if we can get some drink for these wonderful folks.
Yes, man. Walk straight in there and see if we can, make them feel good. Let them know that we see them.
Okay. So Mrs. Patson and I are going to check. So she's walking. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
So Mrs. Patterson broke up on the first sign, you see? Oh, she's
By
good.
the way, Mrs. Patterson, that was such a great idea for the flyers handing to the cars. I mean, that was a thumbs up. Excellent. I love it. And I love the back of the vehicle there. It was so organized. I mean, the spirit of excellence with which we're doing this walk is just phenomenal. I love it. That's what a real Jamaican, I mean, that's what I'm accustomed to. Absolutely.
Do you have any drinks we can buy? Okay, let's see what we have here. Oh, they're hidden. The flavored waters are hidden. Yeah, man. So that was a good walk. The police officer that stopped us was quite cordial. Okay. Yeah. So we're trying to get some cool. Okay, sure. Yeah. Right. So we can get some drinks here. How many do you have? Yeah, take the all 10. Yeah, we'll take all of them. Okay. All right. You want to go get it? You want to get it? Okay. All right. Mrs. Patty's going to get some money for us to pay these guys for some drinks. But yeah, I can't see you, Devon, but so far so good. This is Captain's Bakery that we're in, and they've been very accommodating. They haven't, give us a hard time for being in their backyard. So we thank God for that.
Yeah, man, it's good that the UIC is supporting Captain's Bakery's business, so if Captain Bakery releases a statement later on, they're going to say, thank you, UIC, for supporting the business, and thank you for being orderly and kind to the wider community. But on a Saturday morning or at this time, shouldn't we be seeing more people in Captain's Bakery? What's going on? Is it that the condition on the ground is that people are staying home?
It appears as if there is not a lot of activity this Saturday morning, which is quite unusual. There are people over on the other side. If you look over the other side, you'll see there are people outside, but it's not as busy as a Saturday would normally be at the Portmore Mall. I know for one thing, if you notice inside Captain's Bakery looked a bit sparse. So we're having supplies issue here where, we're having a bit of food shortage, which is pushing up the price of food because you have less production, but and money going after that. And so that's impacting the price of food. A lot of people are not even selling anything for back to school. School is around the corner, supposed to be, but you don't have a lot of sellers out on the street as they normally were in the past to provide for that. So yeah, but I'll give the phone back to Kadeem so I can rest myself and get ready for the next phase.
Yeah. So remember, rotation one. Are you guys going to be making a speech to the people across the street?
That's what I was just going to ask Mr. Patterson about. Mr. Patterson. So we're going to be making a speech to that round one is complete.
Oh, it's time for me or it's time for all of the people?
Well, let's go and check. Paulus.
Yeah. So let the people across the street in the bus park hear what you have to say.
All right. Paulus, are you ready for your speech, Miss VP? Not really. Supposed to be let's see.
So you can let Winston start off. Let's hear what Winston has to say. Let Winston talk to the people.
All right.
Winston's voice is gonna flow from Portmore all the way to Kingston.
So, Mr. Winston, ready to give a speech to Portmore?
And Montego Bay.
All right, and then after Winston, I guess, because Miss Paula says she's not ready yet, so, and I don't think I have the energy.
Come on, okay. Let's get those very expensive megaphones and use them.
Yeah, make sure you're going in front of the people. And okay, so Devon.
Yeah.
People are still recuperating, so it's going to give them some time to rest.
Oh yes,
and they will come together and make the speech.
No problem, no problem. That walk must have taken a lot out of you because it's hot.
Yeah,
it's hot.
So it's the heat. Yeah. The majority of it is the heat.
Yeah, so you gotta.
It's no joke out here.
Yeah, you gotta hide. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So while you guys are resting, let me get some folks.
No, not yet. We're letting people rest first.
Okay, so while you guys are resting, we're gonna talk a little bit. When you're ready, just unmute and interrupt us, okay?
All right, sure.
Okay, all right. Okay, so now let's get one of our guests on the line here. Craig, are you here? Craig, are you here with us?
He may have stepped away.
Yeah. Okay. Rashik. Can you hear us, Rashik?
Yes, I am here. I'm here. Good morning, everyone.
Morning, Rashik.
Morning.
Thank you for joining us on the stream here. It would be nice if you could turn your camera on so that people can see who they're talking to. But if you don't want to, that's fine. But it would be great if you do, so we can see who we're talking to.
Can do that. I'm currently in my office doing some work, so
yes.
I'm listening, guys.
Yes. So where are you tuning in from?
I'm actually in Port Antonio now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you think about what's going on the stream here on the ground in Portmore?
Honestly, I think it's a good move. Because we the people need that voice out there, because I realize no one seems to pay attention to the unjust that is happening with this situation. It seems as if we everyone give the governments all their rights and just sit back and don't do anything about it. So with this platform that you guys create and is out there speaking for us now, I really appreciate it. And I'm willing to join you guys to put that voice out there.
Yes, man. So send me a message. In the private chat here, or if you have my number. Did you come in from the chat or from our email?
I came in from the chat.
From the chat? Okay, so you can send a message in the chat and we can talk offline, one-on-one, and have a conversation about this. Sounds good?
Yeah, man. Sounds good, man. No problem. All right.
Yeah, okay. And we're coming to Port Antonio soon, so you can expect that. We're walking from city to city to city. All right, so we'll be there soon.
Okay. Great. All right.
Okay, all right. Camille, are you saying something?
Devon, you're on mute. We can't hear you.
You can't?
Oh, no, we are. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so let's see. Who else do we have here? Cernet. Are you here, Cernet? You had disappeared on us for a while. Cernet, if you're talking, your mic is muted. Okay, so okay,
there she is. Mm-hmm.
Cernet?
Hi, everyone. Hi. I hope you can hear me.
How are you doing?
I'm fine. I'm
yes,
good. Thank
you.
Yeah, where I am at the moment, sometimes it goes on and off here. Yeah, I don't know if it's my connection or yours.
So where are you calling in from? I know where you're calling in from, but let the people know where you're calling in from.
Yeah, I'm calling from London. Yeah, in the UK.
Yeah. So you're all the way in London. What are you doing here? What are you doing here? Tell us
what am I doing here? Well, I would love to be, there is no place I'd rather be at the moment except in Jamaica. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, but yeah, at the moment, what is going on.
Because Jamaica matters to you, right?
The safety issue is a problem. I'm really missing home. I haven't been to Jamaica since 2005. Mm-hmm. Yeah, haven't been there since 2005. So I'm really missing home. Mm-hmm. But, because of, the situation there at the moment, and there's no leadership, there's no security, and, with all the pandemic and this pandemic, that's even made, making things worse.
Yeah, so you are a strong UIC member.
I'm really happy for what UIC.
Yeah, you are a strong.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah, you are a strong UIC supporter. You've been with UIC.
Yes, I am with the UIC. I'm happy that finally Jamaica have an advocate. You understand, someone who can.
Yeah.
And there never a time, you understand. Pardon me?
Go ahead. Go ahead. We're hearing you.
Are you hearing me?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm saying that UIC come at the right time. You understand? Come at the right time. Maybe if UIC had came earlier, maybe the people, they would have taken them for granted. You understand? Because sometimes people have to reach the bottom. You understand? Reach at the bottom, in order for them to appreciate. You understand? Good things. So at the moment, I'm sure the people. I'm sure the people had given up hope. Mm-hmm. You understand? But seeing UIC now, I think you know, the people, they can maybe finally smile again.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah. Sometimes you have to get a nudge. You know, you see that you're losing your liberty, so you know you wake up, and then
Exactly.
if you do truly lose your liberty, then that's when you're going to wake up. So I do understand what you're saying, that people, you know, people might be comfortable and not appreciative of those who are jumping the gun to prevent something from happening that hasn't happened yet. You know, and that's what we're doing. Some people don't see what's happening, and some people don't see what's going to happen. So, but we do. So we're out in the streets, you know, educating the people, alerting the people to what's happening and what's going to happen. And the people on the ground right now, the people in this chat, the people on our stream are very, very supportive of that. And the UIC wants to thank you all for the support that you've given us over the past few days, and the support that you're giving us right now by being right here on this stream.
Yes, thank you too. Thanks, UIC. Thank you guys for what you're doing.
No.
Thank you. Thank you for being here, Cernet.
I want to correct something, Cernet. Cernet, you are UIC. So it's not thank you guys. So you're gonna have to thank yourself right now, because you are the UIC. Okay. You helped us in more ways than one, and we appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Yeah, we appreciate your support.
Oh,
absolutely. And we always appreciate your input in our chats.
Oh, thank you, Camille. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So we have a new guest here, Mario Lati. We have somebody trying. So usually I don't allow folks who don't have their full name to enter the chat. There's someone called Samsung GM trying to jump in, because the last time we allowed someone to jump in the chat without their full name, something happened that we did not like. But
okay, guys, sorry to interrupt, but Winston is ready to make his speech.
Okay, so you guys are heading over to the bus park?
No. We're still it's fine. We're still at the at Captain's Bakery. Well, we're getting ready to make,
No, what I'm saying, you're gonna be walking over to the bus park.
Yeah, we're gonna be handing out flyers over there.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so give you guys some more time.
Huh?
Give you guys some more time.
Yeah, it's a bit more time.
Okay. All right, no problem. Okay, so I'm gonna let Samsung SM in, and I'm gonna put Samsung SM on the spot and to see who this person is, and if this is a unwanted
legitimate.
Yeah. So yeah, we have to be careful. You know, when we're doing this. Samsung SM G920V that just entered the Zoom. I see that you've been trying to enter for a while now. Could you please identify yourself? Let us know who we're talking to. If you're talking, you are unmuted. You're on unmute. Samsung SM G920V. You are keeping us in suspense. We don't know if this is the Prime Minister. We don't know if this is the Minister.
Okay. You're ready.
Ready?
All right, go ahead, sir. You're live. Yeah. All right, turn a face everyone here.
One second.
Turn a face everyone here. We'll pan.
Kadeem, one second. Yeah. So we want the people in the bus park to hear what you're saying.
Oh, so you want people in the bus park to hear what you're saying. So probably go and face the road, and do this want to use the phone, the megaphone. So people over there can hear what you're saying. Doesn't make it too nervous, does it? Okay, I respect that. All right, guys, we're going to go over there to make our speeches. Yeah, we're going to use.
Oh yeah, Winston is never nervous. You can count on that.
Oh, I'm here. Oh, the call is over? The call is over?
No, there's no call. I was just saying.
And remember, guys, when you're heading to the bus park, please ensure that you're social distancing and ensure that the masks are on. So when Winston is speaking in the megaphone, you can ask him to remove his mask so that everyone can hear him clearly.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. So no, we're just gonna line right there.
Oh. You're allowed to take a break. You're taking a break right now. Just spread out where you were before. Don't block the driveway.
Okay, so we can just use the megaphone so people over there can hear us.
Sure.
Because Devon said he wants the people over there to hear.
Let's why can't you come right this right on the edge there. Hello, you're with us? Welcome. Miss Kelly.
We have 2 more people joining us. All right.
To let you guys know what's going on, they completed rotation 1. And so what they're going to do right now is to make a speech so that the people on the bus park on the other side can hear what's going on. So they're preparing right now to go over there. They're going to make sure that
close to the front so that the people over there can hear us. We're gonna separate out here. Yeah. No, we don't really need the signs anymore. No, I don't think so. I think we're just going to make our speeches and then we're going to hand out the rest of the flyers over that side where the people are, and then we're going to disperse. All right, so.
All medical therapies are made available to everyone. Allow persons to make a choice that they need to, but for your own well-being and your family.
Is the speech?
No. He's just talking to them. Okay, 1 second. We'll be back soon, all right?
So the person who is on the Samsung SM phone that just entered our Zoom, please identify yourself. What is your name? And you're on mute. Devon?
Yeah, I'm here.
They're not identifying themselves, so.
They're not? Okay, so I'm gonna have to remove them then.
Absolutely.
Okay, probably you can ask them to text.
Yeah, good idea.
You ask them to text. Samsung, could you text and identify yourself?
I'm gonna send them a message on a private message to identify.
Okay, so Kadim, if you're muted on purpose, let us know. If not, then. Okay, so that number that identify themselves. I'm just gonna remove that person just to avoid.
Give them a minute because I just text them directly to please identify themselves, or we will have to remove them from Zoom. So let's just give them a minute. Maybe they don't see it.
Okay, Kadim, can you unmute so we can see what's going on? Or hear what's going on?
All right, we're setting up now closer to the bus park side so everyone can hear.
Have you signed up?
Did you remove them, Devon? Because
Yeah, I
they didn't
did.
respond. Good.
Yeah, I did.
Because
I did.
They didn't respond.
Kadeem, please remind everyone to keep their distance. I see them doing it, but
Yes.
remind everyone. Good.
They have it, man. I reminded them. Yo, 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on, guys. This way, this way. Ellie, come this way.
So I go on this side.
Hey, Kadeem.
You can stand up to the side here. Right.
All right. What are we?
United.
Wonderful. So, I was Jamaica. So the United here, in Jamaica, I go to speeches. What I'll share with you is a life story. And it's gonna be long and boring, so I'm making it. It's gonna be short but boring. Now, stand here. So I said it's gonna be a life story and it's not gonna be long and boring, but short and boring.
Right into the mic, right into the mic, right into the mic.
Here you go. Powerful voice indeed, the voice of a presidential candidate. All right, so I'm a boy from the country, and I remember growing up in a community that all we had was ganja farming. That's all we had. No road, no running water, nothing. Yeah, let's go along. Thank you. And you know what it is, man. And I remember I always looked up in the sky and there was airplanes flying overhead. Because my little community was right in the flight path going to that airport. And I've always wondered what line outside of all in the community. And when I got the chance to find out, and the motherfucker, I begged the chance to find out. I begged, I called the fire station, and every day I begged the job as a firefighter, and I got that and I ran with it. For well over 15 years. Now, I'll stop the story here to say this. That wasn't taking advantage of an opportunity. How many of you can say that your child is not that opportunity? Not many. Because all those opportunities are going to friends and cronies. All those opportunities are going to connect with people. People who have friends that can call us the boy without that job. But not everybody in the group when they have in Jamaica. Probably more than that now. Have those connections. What we advocate for as United is liberty. Liberty, freedom of choice, freedom to access opportunities, freedom to express yourself in a responsible way to you and your neighbor, freedom to be who you can be. Now, government is not our daddy, and United don't want the government with our daddy. We don't want a gun because we have the God of above. We don't need a brother. We have brothers and sisters who are affiliated by blood and conscience. We don't want dictatorship. We have lived, our ancestors have lived hundreds of years of slavery. We don't want servitude. Our people would give us independence and live that. And the part of colonialism continues to this day. And when you unite the Independence Congress, tell people that Jamaica is not free, they laugh. Just like the laugh when Rastafarian told them that Babylon is coming. Now they see it in full effect. A government that was not elected by me or you, not even by the 1/3 of the population that voted, because we did not elect this man as Prime Minister. He was chosen by his cronies, his colleagues in crime, his colleagues in exploiting the Jamaican resources. And then he says to me and you, and no, you're 12-year-old, you're 13-year-old, you're 14-year-old, you're 18, 19-year-old, that you struggle with, hear the pain with, suffered with, went through their first breakup with, their first failure with, their triumph with. Then say, I am giving you a substance that is able to put in them. So, what are you gonna do? Lay down and die? Watch your seed wither and die? Watch your path to dust? Watch everything that you have struggled to put into your beloved child go to waste. Is that what you're gonna do? Is that what you want for your neighbor's child? Is that what you want for your niece or nephew? Then the person that kids are well protected. And he is nurturing them, but subjecting our kids to tyranny. Are we going to stand for that? No! We are united in the cause of liberty, united in bringing Jamaica out of the start called freedom and bring true liberty that brings the government of the Now, if you don't believe that it's possible, look at the UIC roadmap. It gives you an elected president that you choose and the prime minister chosen by his colleagues in Christ. It gives you a candidate that is responsible for your community, solely your community, and not a ministerial portfolio to enrich himself and his family. As so many of the ministers in this cabinet and past cabinet have done. And most importantly, UIC gives you a constitution that is by Jamaicans, for Jamaicans, that does not seek to take away your liberty, but to enshrine those liberties that they like to do, that you have, which God gave you, they took away, and want to tell you that they can't return it, or like to that they have returned it and they have not. Now, think on these things. You are a chosen few, and it only takes that spark to start the fire. Every one of you here represent that spark. We're the 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 spark.
Start the fire. Start the fire. Liberty no. Freedom no.
Freedom no. Freedom no. Freedom no.
My choice. My choice. My body. My body. Freedom no.
But this freedom that is now will be freedom forever under a UIC. It will be freedom that won't be subjected to background and will and fancy. He won't give with one hand, tell you that you're free, but then tell you that you need a permit to march. Tell you that you're free and brutalize you with his police force, and then tell you that you need a permit to protest and brutalization.
You can't be free.
And remove it. You can't tell you that, boy, I'm sorry about it. I'm going to investigate to see who is responsible. No. Our kind of freedom is freedom forever. The United Independence Congress speaks for every Jamaican, whether you be rich or poor, light-skinned or black, skinny or fat. Support the famous line.
True freedom.
True freedom. True freedom. True freedom. True freedom. True freedom. United, we're here, a vocal minority, but a powerful majority. A vocal minority, but a powerful majority saying that we will start that spark and make it an ember, and that ember will become a big roaring flame. We're the spark.
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 We are the spark.
Bring the fire.
Bring the fire.
Bring the fire.
Bring the fire.
We're the spark.
We are the spark.
Now imagine if that spark was lit in those cane fields decades ago, matured into embers decades ago, led to the fire of freedom decades ago, we would be here. But they stop short and rob us. Because they lied to us, they trick us, they hoodwink us, they bamboozle us, they shot fire us. But UIC has opened our eyes and wants to open everybody's eyes for the fact that the Constitution is the word that
Helping you get all of
It gives you nothing as Jamaicans. You still pay tax on your land and that house that you bought that you struggle and try to buy. And the time you're listed as a holder, not the owner. And the government is constantly in your backbone with more taxes, more regulation, more thievery. Because you are not a free person.
And should you want to give that land to your kids, government take money from
bring
it.
the dominoes someplace and give you your freedom. Give your neighbor their freedom. Give all Jamaicans what they deserve. True freedom. True freedom.
True freedom.
My body, my choice.
My body, my choice.
So, unite us. Spread the spark. Grow the ember. Plant that deep, roaring flame called liberty. Where the spark?
We are the spark.
Where the spark?
We are the spark.
Where the spark?
We are the spark.
Light the fire.
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 Where the spark?
We are the spark.
Light the fire.
Light the fire.
Where the spark?
We are the spark.
Light the fire.
Light the fire.
March or walk. Time to walk, my friend. Let's walk. Where the fire?
All right. Oh, all right. Oh,
Yeah, they have the fire. They're gonna burn it down.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. Now let's have a look at our feedback here in the comment section. We have Mark saying that he wished he could be there. He said, sorry, I couldn't be with you guys. So Mark, we see you there. Sophia, thanks a lot for the support you're showing us here in the comment section. And Joseph Hunt, we see you there. Okay, let's go to our viewers here on Zoom. Hey Raymond, I see you there. Can you hear me?
Yes, Seven, I can hear you.
Oh, I thought you were at the walk. What's going on?
Hold on, let me just plug you in my mic. What did you say? You thought I'd be at the walk?
Yeah, I thought you were at the walk. I thought I saw you there actually.
No, I'm in Canada, Calgary.
Oh, Raymond. Oh, sorry. I was mixing it up with somebody else. You have Ray in your name. And then I got
okay.
Yeah.
I've been out of Jamaica for a long time.
Yeah. When was the last time you've been to Jamaica?
At least 10 years ago. At least
10 years.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's a long time.
Yeah. I had some close shaves the last time I was there. It scared me. So.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's good to have you here. We have our meeting later. So some people don't think that the UIC should be doing what it's doing right now. They're telling us, hey, why don't you go march against crime? Why don't you go march against poverty and all these important issues that we have in the country? And we're saying to them that, you can't march against those things if you don't have liberty, because you can see that the police are actually trying to stop this walk for liberty right now. So if you can't walk, if you can't do this, how are you going to march? Because you need a permit to march in Jamaica. So
yeah, well, this is also part of the same trend. People have been arrested for posting things on social media that are against the government and against the prime minister. So this is a trend.
Mm-hmm. Right. So we have to defend our liberties today so that we can march.
I'm actually surprised that the walkers were not arrested. I'm actually surprised. I think I expected them to get arrested.
So you see,
I think eventually they will be as they go from city to city.
Mm-hmm. So the thing is, they're, as you can see, they're abiding by the DRMA. Their social distancing. They're wearing their masks. They have their hand sanitizers. They're even keeping hydrated. They have umbrellas to shield from the sun, and they're walking. Okay, so this is not a march. This is not
I get that. I get that, but people who have spoken out have been arrested and they're just not charged. So I think that's what would happen. There'll be harassment, police harassment.
It's a very, I don't think it's a very smart move unless the police force wants to damage the position of the prime minister. It's not a very smart move to arrest a group of people from the a registered political party. Are you going to arrest the president of a registered political party in Jamaica, the United Independence Congress, on live stream, right? So it's not a good idea for them to do so unless they want to damage the position of the prime minister, because arresting your competition, for an election is not a good move. Okay.
Yeah, well, I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm proven wrong, and I hope they are allowed to do what they're doing.
Especially when they're following the rules, and there can be blowback from this, of course, legal blowbacks, liability, and of course, we're going to be sending the DSP a letter, based on the interaction today, outlining what happened and our reactions and our feelings on this encounter. As Mr. Patterson said, the encounter with the officer. His name is Officer Robertson. It was a good encounter. He was cordial. He's just saying that he was sent by the DSP. DSP, what was the name? What's the name of the DSP?
Campbell.
DSP Campbell. So he was sent by DSP Campbell to advise us that we are engaging in an illegal march, for which the president of the United Independence Congress responded and said that this is not a march, this is just Jamaicans walking. Because if you're going to arrest these beautiful people walking for their liberties, then you're gonna have to go across the road and arrest everybody that's over there that's walking, right? And that's the position that the UIC is taking. Let's go back to get some footage from what's going on the ground. Kadim, if you're holding the camera here, can you unmute and see what's going on?
My side, my side, my body, my side, no fraud, no fraud, my side, my body, my side, my body, no force,
My body, my body, my body, my body, my
United. United. Stand. Fall. Stand. Fall. No fraud. No force. No fraud. No force. My choice. My body. My choice. My choice. My body. Oh God, I'm sorry.
Love the support. Love the support there.
United, what are we?
United.
What are we?
United.
What are we?
United. L. I. B. E. R. T. Y. Liberty. 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 No fraud. No fraud. My choice. My choice. My choice. My choice. No fraud. No force. No fraud. No force. My choice. My choice.
My choice. My choice. My choice. My choice. My choice. My choice. Hallelujah. My body, my choice. My body. 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 My body.
We're losing reception there. So there we're having it. We're walking for freedom and we're back. Great. We're observing the walk, the circle by Portmore Mall. Let's go, Uniters.
My body. My choice. 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 My choice. My body. My choice. My body. My choice. My body. My body. My choice. 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 My body. No fraud. No fraud. No fraud. United. What are we? 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 United. My body. My body. My choice. 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 My choice. My body. My body. My choice. My choice. My body. My body. My choice. My body. My choice. My choice. My body.
Hey Karim, can you hear us?
Huh? What is it?
Can you hear us? Just a reminder to remind them to keep their distance, all right?
Yeah.
My body. My choice. My body. My choice. My body. My choice. My body.
Remember to keep your distance. Remember to keep your distance, guys.
Devon.
Yeah, the police is there.
Yeah, I was just gonna say something. I suspect that that phone that was recording us was the police, you know.
That was the police?
I think so, that strange phone.
Yeah.
I've been reading the Public Order Act, and I think they are going to say it's a march, and if you don't have a permit, they can arrest everybody. Yeah. So just to give you a heads up, I think what I said is probably gonna first be asked to disperse under the Public Order Act, and then they have to use a police officer above the rank of corporal when they're sending an officer. And according to the Public Order Act, they first ask the person who appears to be in charge to disperse, and if they don't, then all the participants can be arrested.
Let's hear what they're saying on the ground there.
Kadim, we can't hear.
Kadim, can you go closer?
Closest partition, AOSCPA, address, phone number 876-487-805. I am 50 years old. August 2nd, 1970. Lot 16, Grove District, Lot 16, Grove.
Let's not put the address on the live.
Oh, we're not talking about
So I guess it's illegal to walk in Jamaica now.
The thing is, I think under the Public Order Act, if the police define it as a march and where somebody is addressing the crowd, that's how they're interpreting it, it looks like.
No, I know that it's taking
Yeah, see, I think I overheard him saying, yeah, no, you're having a march. See? That's how they're going to define it. And without a permit, you're not allowed to march. So they're going to ask them to disperse. That's the first action. And if they refuse, then they are arrested.
Okay, let's Kadim, we can't hear what the police is saying.
Maybe she could turn up her mic.
They're saying that it's illegal to walk. Yeah, you can stop now. I want to be clear. They're saying to us, it's illegal to walk. Using the term walk. I understand what they're saying, and I'm saying.
Hear that? They're defining it as a march.
Yeah, one sec, Raymond. Let's get the whole thing.
Hey guys. Yeah, guys. Devon, come here.
We're hearing you.
We're hearing you.
Okay. Saying here, it is illegal in Jamaica to walk. We're not allowed to walk, and Mr. Campbell calls it a march. Mr. Campbell said it's a march, and we say we're walking, and he says in Jamaica it's illegal to do what we're doing. We're not allowed to walk.
Okay, but I'm unclear. Mr. Campbell, can I ask you a question? All right, if my memory serves me correct, the Constitution guarantees me what? Freedom of movement within its borders, subject to emergency the powers act. Freedom of movement within its borders.
Freedom of movement and freedom of assembly, not freedom to have an illegal march.
Right, then
remember the Constitution is not absolute.
The Constitution is absolute, but it is clear. Hold on, but it is clear. And I appreciate you trying to educate me, but I'm still missing something. Because if under the Constitution I can assemble and we are here to walk together.
Let me explain something.
Sure.
You say you're standing here with the group doing this, you're having a protest, which is fine. So once you start moving, you're not having a march. It's illegal.
A march is illegal. Oh, well, we can stand here then and solve that problem.
If you stand here.
Okay, so people, we're standing here.
We're going to stand in front of Captain.
Oh, we're parked.
Stand there.
No, let's stand here. This is public property. Let's stand here.
I don't expect you to be here forever. Mr. Patterson,
Thank you for your time.
Gentle people, please, I'm asking for your cooperation.
Come on, we're cooperating.
All right?
Mr. Campbell.
As I'm explaining to you, if you're standing here peacefully with your placard, raising your issue, nothing is wrong with that. All right? As you talk about assembly, nothing is wrong with that. But once you start marching around and public out here without the authorities' permission, regardless of what your issues are.
The camera is off.
So what Mr. Campbell is going to repeat for you, Mr. Campbell. My friend, Mr. Campbell is saying it is okay for us to stand here with our placard and speak to the public, but the moment we start to walk around, he calls it a march and he says that is illegal. So Jamaica's constitution is saying does not allow you to walk,
even though it guarantees you freedom of movement.
Right. So you're not allowed to walk.
Guarantee you freedom of movement as an individual, not freedom of movement together, organize a march.
No, but there are two things that it says, that I'm free to assemble, I'm free to associate.
Yes.
And those things.
And I'm saying to you, my brother, let us do this in the right. You're lobbying for a cause.
Right.
Give me liberty, not dictatorship. All right?
Okay.
And if I am with you support, except and if I am not according to the law, by arresting you, organizing this thing, all right, then we're going to have some conflict.
No.
And our person is going to be down and
No, we won't have conflict.
So I don't want to have to call it Trump.
No. You won't have conflict. We'll be down on you, but we won't have conflict. And that's not in a physical sense, but in the sense that we'll express disappointment in you verbally.
And the fact that we don't want to get that day, and I'm telling you that what you're doing is not right, then I expect you to operate as responsible adults.
Right, and that's why we say,
let's say, for example, you're thinking, Mr. Patterson, that it's okay to walk. If people are using the term walk, and I'm trying to explain to you that it is not being walk. Right? Once you have a group that is walking around with flat cars, it is not being marked.
So we have a different
So
opinion.
how do you differentiate walking and marching? Marching doesn't mean that you're like this, the soldier or the police left right now. Once you're in a group going around, you're marching.
Here's the truth, Mr.
That's what
Campbell.
it is called.
I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know how to define a march, so I call it a walk.
And that is why
I'm not a lawyer.
Exactly.
All of us here.
That is what I'm trying to say to you, Sir Patterson. That you keep on using the term walk, and I'm saying that.
Right, I understand the definition. So these good people here have decided to join me on a walk. And so we're walking around.
Once the good people decide to join you on a walk, it becomes no march.
So you're saying when 2 or more decide to take a walk, it come out.
It's based on the objective of what you're doing.
Oh, so one okay, say 4 more persons are walking.
All right, then people. We're going to stand here the whole day repeating.
Right, you're not going to do it.
All right.
So we thank you, we appreciate it.
Ask you kindly.
We're going to walk around to the other side, and we're going to wrap up our activities on the other side. All right?
So,
where we're from.
We're going to ask you to disperse now.
We're talk to the other side.
I will allow you to walk. And I would appreciate if you just not this one.
Thank you for your time, Mr. Michael C. Campbell. Appreciate it.
Very honored and honored to be. Yes, ma'am. It's just want to do the right thing. Yeah. No, man, I agree with you. It's just that we want to do the right thing.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your respect.
Okay. All right, sir. All the best.
All right, let's go, my friend. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks for your cooperation. Thank you.
Officer.
Yes, sir. Lockdown criminal. Yes.
Yeah.
How do you know that?
This one gets the more.
I'm going to lock down all of them, of course.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Have a good one. All right.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate your hard work. Appreciate it. Yes. Your body, your job.
Right.
Okay, so we didn't hear some of that because it was muffled because of your mask.
No problem.
So give us an update.
The Lord bless you.
Devon, you're back with us?
Yeah, I'm hearing you, but pull down your mask so we can hear what you're saying because you're muffled.
All right, so that was the DSP for the parish. So his contention is that since we're walking, it's a march. So it's either we're standing still or we disperse. So we're going to where we're parked to stand still, even though the Constitution guarantees us the right to do both. So it, as I have said earlier, that the Constitution is the word the paper is printed on. And as Joseph always says, he gives it one hand and takes with the other. So we do need a Constitution for Jamaicans by Jamaicans. We are protesting government tyranny and the government forces, right? Because the commissioner is the Prime Minister's puppet and lackey, and I say that publicly. Okay? He's telling us that even though the Constitution says that I have a right to peaceful assembly, which we are peacefully assembled, and we have a right, a freedom of movement, he's saying that the freedom of movement is not so, not when we are gathered as one or more. So what that means is that going to church is also illegal, going to school is also illegal, coming home to your family of 2 or more is illegal, going to see your friends that are 2 or more is illegal, going to the library, and I can continue. In other words, people, our Constitution is crap. It's time for us to change the slave master system. Wake up, people, wake up! Big brother is here. Thank you, Devon.
Boy, Winston, it sounds like the Queen's Constitution, the colonial master's Constitution. This is not Jamaican Constitution. Oh, this not represent us.
Not in the least. Because they told us we got freedom in 1962, but here we are being told that you're not free to march, as they call it. We call it a walk. They call it a march, because all we have done is walk and express ourselves.
I guess you don't have any right to do that in Jamaica anymore, right?
No, we never had the right.
Indeed. But they're making us...
Remember when the Rastafarians tried that in the 70s, they clubbed them over the head, locked them up and trimmed them. Okay? When we tried it against slavery, the Jamaica Constabulary Force, as it was then, clubbed them over the head and arrested them. The colonial masters hung who they needed to hang to make an example, and then lied to the rest of us, say, go on, you're free. Only to find out in this modern day and age that his lordship, the Prime Minister and the Governor General, is wielding the Creed's reserve power over our heads.
Mm-hmm. So what the DSP is saying is that, you know, like if 2 of you are walking and you're walking around in a circle, you're actually marching.
Yes, because of the intent. The intent is to hear a social grievance.
Yeah. So that means that the colonial system, the colonial constitution was designed to prevent Jamaicans from publicly hearing their grievances.
That is correct, because when 2 or more slaves gathered in the past, it was the precursor to a riot, burning of the cane fields and the Great House. Yeah. So they don't want the cane fields and the Great House to burn in 2021. Mm-hmm. So you have to ask the slave master for permission to protest his tyranny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the UIC is revealing some things here to the Jamaican people. And you know what? There's been other protests, there's been other marches, and we don't see the police going out there. But why are they here at this one? They even, I don't know.
There you go. Let's look at the issue where they violated that young Rastafarian lady, Nzinga. Mm-hmm. They allowed that protest, and they are showing their magnanimity that they are good, because we have allowed you to voice your disgust with us. But really and truly, that was all a whitewash job, because from the beginning, they're stonewalling, say, oh, investigation. We have to find out who is responsible. To find out who is responsible, all you have to do is look in the station diary and look all the officers that were there and have Nzinga point out the one that was holding the scissors. That's all it takes. But the UIC is to be stifled at all costs.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, what I am hearing is that the police, okay, with their limited understanding and interpretation of our Constitution, is the one who get to really determine if it's a walk or a march. So that police officer was the one interpreting the Constitution. Is he qualified to do so?
Well, he's an officer of the law, so I would say he is qualified to interpret the Constitution. As a matter of fact, every single citizen of Jamaica is qualified to interpret the Constitution. And that is my opinion, because the Constitution governs your lives. It's our responsibility to understand what it says.
Police came.
Let's see what Joseph said.
But we continued. Why did we continue? Because Jamaica is our country. And we have the right to walk.
Devon, I hope all this is being recorded.
Yeah. Let's hear what Joseph said.
And we can't walk, and we can't talk. They call it a march, we call it a walk. What we call it? It's a walk. A walk for what? A walk for liberty. The liberty, freedom, my friends, is not free. You have to fight for it. And if we follow the rest of our nation, we'll lose all of it. We have to be the spark. We have to be the light of the world. We have to open the mind of everybody that they should not sit back or sit down or lie down and allow the government to walk all over them. So the message we're sending to all of our friends across the country and across the world, it is our body, it is our life. It is our choice. So here's the problem we're having to make right now. We're faced with a serious problem. Many of you may think the problem is a virus. The problem is not a virus. Many of you may think that the problem has something to do with the government. It's not the government. You might think the problem has something to do with whether or not we're going to get sick and die, or whether or not we have enough hospital space. But that's not the problem. Here's the problem. The problem is this. Will we have the right or the freedom of speech? Will we have the right or the freedom of movement? Will we have the right and the freedom of choice? Those are the three issues before us. The freedom to speak, the freedom to move, and the freedom to choose. The government of Jamaica, operating off a constitution which was written by our colonial masters, are saying to us, they have the right to take away your freedom to speak. They have the right to take away your freedom to move. And they have the right to take away your freedom to choose. So here's how they take away the freedom. Number one, they want to say that you shouldn't hear from everybody. They can censor some people. They can stop some people from speaking because they don't agree with what they have to say. I know they tell us to follow the science, but what they're telling us is follow the science that we permit. Follow the science that we agree with. They don't want you to hear from the scientists who disagree with their scientists. They don't want you to hear from the doctors who disagree with their doctors. They want you to follow what they say. No, that is not freedom. Freedom is when you have the ability and the right and the space to hear from everybody, and for you to make your own decision. So we want to say to the government today, we reserve the right to speak and to hear and to listen to any and everyone who wants to speak to us. You do not have the right to close off who can talk and who can say and who can speak. Number one. Number two, they want to prevent us from moving. How do you earn? How do you take care of your necessities? It's by moving. You have to travel. You have to trade. And you have to associate. If you can't associate, if you can't travel, and you can't trade, then they put you in a box. And when you're in a box, and your back is against the wall, you have only two options. Option number one, you be afraid and you cover and you let them do with you whatever they want. Option number two, you fight back and take back your right. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't plan to cover. I don't plan to fear.
No fear.
No fear. I don't plan to sit in the corner like a little school child, what I say, go to the corner. I am going to fight, and I'm going to fight hard for my right. I have a right to travel, I have a right to trade, and I have a right to associate. You have no right to close my church. You have no right to close my school. You have no right to close my business. You have no right to stop me from moving and doing nothing. But let's do the right to choose. Remember, we have three freedoms. Number one, the freedom to speak, to hear, to listen. Number two, the freedom to move, to trade, to travel. And number three, the most important, the right to choose. No government, no group, and nobody have the right to take away your right or my right to choose. This is my body, I must choose what's going to my body. This is my mind, I choose what's going to my mind. This is my life, I choose to do what I want to do with my life. No government, no group, no individual have the right to take away my right to choose. So when they come to you about this vaccine or virus, tell them the issue is not whether the vaccine is good or bad. The issue is not whether the vaccine is needed or not. The issue is, have you allowed me to hear from everybody? Have you allowed me to choose what I want to choose? Or will you seek to stop me from hearing and to stop me from choosing? Today, my friends, all of you standing here today, by coming here, you have made a choice. You have decided that nobody, no group, and no government is going to stop you from choosing. So the first choice to make is not to be silent. The second choice to make is not to stop moving. And the third choice we're going to make is not to cover or bow to what they want us to bow to. You will not, Mr. Prime Minister, you will not, Mr. Opposition Leader, you will not, Mr. Foreign Master, you will not force us to take anything we do not want to take, because that is our choice, not yours to make. And you can't force my children either, because my children is my responsibility. My health is my responsibility. Amen. My life is my responsibility. My children are my responsibility. And your job, Mr. Andrew Holdes, your job is to protect my life, my liberty, and my property from force and fraud. That is your job. So, Mr. Prime Minister, do your job. Do your job. And stop trying to take away my job. My job is to choose what I want to put into my body. My job is to choose what I want to do with my child. My job is to choose where I want to work, when I want to work, how long I want to work, where I want to travel. Your job is to make sure the police does its work and keep me safe to travel. Keep me safe to go to work. Keep me safe to travel on the street. Fix the pothole, Mr. Prime Minister. Fix the road, Mr. Prime Minister. Fix the police, Mr. Prime Minister. Fix the economy, Mr. Prime Minister. But leave my life to me, Mr. Prime Minister. Leave my health to me, Mr. Prime Minister. Leave my children to me, Mr. Prime Minister. And make me make my own choice, Mr. Prime Minister. So just in case, Mr. Prime Minister, just in case, Mr. Prime Minister, the camera is too loud for you, I'm going to calm down. Mr. Prime Minister, you are not God. Mr. Prime Minister, you are not God. Mr. Prime Minister, you are not God. Mr. Prime Minister, you're a man just like me. Mr. Prime Minister, God didn't give you, the UN, or the WHO, or anybody else more right than me. So you as a man can't take away my right as a man. Listen, Mr. Golden, as opposition leader, you have a job, sir. Your job is not to join the Prime Minister in foolishness. Your job is to oppose the foolishness. And so if you say the Prime Minister doing foolishness, tell him it's foolishness. But Mr. Golden, we know that it's possible that you might have a problem too. Because everybody seems to be signed off on something which we don't know about. They sign off on something which says you must force the Jamaican people to take something with them no one. Mr. Prime Minister, Mr. Opposition Leader, we don't care what the foreign masters want. What we care about is what we want. And we want a free Jamaica. We want a safe Jamaica. We want an orderly Jamaica. We want a Jamaica when I make a choice, it's my choice, what I do with my body, and you can make that choice with your body. So Mr. Prime Minister and Mr. Opposition Leader, if you want to take the vaccine, take it. As a matter of fact, anybody in this room who want to take the vaccine, take it. Because guess what? UIC, we're not anti-vaxxers. The UIC is not pro-vaxxers. The UIC is just pro-choicers. All we want is for every man, woman, and child to make their own decision. What we want is every family to have the freedom to make their own decision. And what we want is objective information. What we want is non-fraudulent information. What we want is transparent government. What we want is a supportive government. What we want is a government that will say to the foreign masters, not this time, not this place, not this country. Okay? What we want is a government that will say to the Maroons, we respect you. What we want is a government that will say to the ganja planter, plant your ganja if you want. What we want is a government that will say, you are free to do whatever you want as long as you don't infringe on the life, the liberty, or the property of anybody. So if you protect people's rights and leave them, they will do the right thing. And what's the right thing? The right thing for me may not be the right thing for you. I may be a doctor, you may be a lawyer. I may be a hustler, you may be an entrepreneur. That's fine. We all choose our different paths. But the only path we don't subscribe to is force and fraud. Nobody must force anybody to do anything. Nobody must defraud anybody of anything. And guess what? That goes for the government too. You can't lock up me for do wrong and you do wrong, Mr. Prime Minister. Mr. Prime Minister, is you call the election in the middle of this pandemic. Mr. Prime Minister, if you can walk and talk during the pandemic, we can walk and talk too. Mr. Prime Minister, if you can authorize Dream Weekend, we can dream and walk too, Mr. Prime Minister. Mr. Prime Minister, if you, Mr. Prime Minister, can have your birthday party, we can have your one, Mr. Prime Minister. If Mr. Prime Minister, you can go a funeral, we can go funeral to Mr. Prime Minister. Mr. Prime Minister, allow us to worship, allow us to party, allow us to business, allow us to do what we want, because you do what you want. So hear what? I want to calm down now, because not everybody can understand when they speak loud. So I want to speak soft. My wife over there, she always chastise. She said, calm down, the brother. So, I learned something long time in life, you see? Happy wife, happy life. So make sure your wife is happy if you want to be happy. So I'm going to slow down. I'm going to slow down. But make no mistake. I might be calm, but behind me is a storm. I might be calm, but behind me is a storm. This, yes, the storm will come. Yes, exactly. So listen, Mr. Prime Minister. Outside here, so today, are only a sample of the Jamaica that is waiting to oppose you if you try this thing forward. Mr. Prime Minister, may I beg you, may I encourage you, I'm asking you in peace, Mr. Prime Minister, to do the right thing and turn back this thing. Stop spending the tax money to force Jamaicans to take no vaccine. If people want it, then we'll take it. You know, have to spend $400 million for them to take it.
On top of 3.2.
On top of 3.2. Exactly. Mr. Prime Minister, I hear you're going to go now and you're going to do door to door. Hold on. Mr. Prime Minister.
Start at my door.
I hear that you're going to do door to door now. Whose money you're going to spend to go door to door? Mr. Prime Minister, are you going to borrow money from our head to go door to door? Mr. Prime Minister, are you going to increase our taxes to go door to door? Mr. Prime Minister, are you going to cause money to move away from the police, away from the nurse, away from the teacher to go door to door? Mr. Prime Minister, you can't pay the teacher them. Mr. Prime Minister, you can't pay the nurse them. Mr. Prime Minister, you can't pay the police them. Why on earth you spending so much money to force us to take somebody vaccine, Mr. Prime Minister? Mr. Prime Minister, Mr. Prime Minister, Mr. Prime Minister, your vaccine going to spoil. Mr. Prime Minister, we're not going to take it if you're forcing us to take it. Mr. Prime Minister, look at the people. Look at the people, Mr. Prime Minister. Look at the people. No vaccine. No forced vaccination. No force. No fraud. 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 My body. My choice. 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 No force. No fraud. No force. No fraud. No force. No fraud. So, Mr. Prime Minister, the word is liberty, Mr. Prime Minister. The word is liberty, Mr. Prime Minister. The word is liberty, Mr. Prime Minister. The word is liberty. No, Mr. Prime Minister, don't take liberty with me, Mr. Prime Minister. Don't take liberty with me. Understand that the people of Marcus Garvey, the people of our good General Nani, the people of Sam Sharp, the people of Paul Bogle, the people of George William Gordon, the people who stand up for justice, the people who stand up for freedom, the people who stand up against tyranny. We are going to fight. Mr. Prime Minister, we're going to fight, and we're going to fight hard, and we're going to fight long, and we're not going to stop until we have our freedom. So, Mr. Prime Minister, until we meet again in Spanish Town. Until we meet again next Saturday in Spanish Town, I encourage you, Mr. Prime Minister. I encourage you, Mr. Prime Minister, back down. Back down.
My body, my choice. 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 There you go. There you go. Uniters, what are we? United. Uniters, what are we? United. Uniters, what are we? United. United in liberty, brothers and sisters, loved ones. United indeed.
Right. Well, stand on the front line.
And the people, just before you go.
Just talk over there.
Okay. Here, Paul. Hold this. Hold on. Let me go use the bottle. Let me get water.
Where are you guys going now?
They're just standing in the street. Show the signs.
Car's open.
Yes, Mr. Patrick is there. Go ahead. My brother. My brother. My brother.
Standing out there?
Yeah, a little bit, I think. Oh. Oh, you can open the car and you can sit on there. Oh, yeah, Miss Patterson is there.
My brother. My brother. My brother.
Are you guys gonna hand out the flyers now?
Stand up! You got pledge up! Stand up! Against injustice! And I want to make a call this afternoon. I want to make a call this afternoon. People of Jamaica. I want to make a call this afternoon to the people of Jamaica. I am in particular this afternoon calling on the young people of Jamaica. If you are from Waterhouse, if you are from
have to. We have to. Come on.
Kadeem, we're not hearing so clearly.
Well, I can go back across, but you won't be able to see as well. Is that okay?
Yeah, you gotta go closer. We can't hear what they're saying.
All right, I'll go across.
Be careful.
Get up, stand up, and stand up for your right. Somebody stand up for your right. So we say stand up for your right. We will stand together. We stand together. We stand together. We are standing together. So get up, stand up, and stand up for your right. Get up, stand up, and stand up for your right. Get up, stand up, and stand up for your right. We are standing together. Stand up for your right. Stand up for your right. Stand up for your right, Jamaica. Stand up for your right.
Anybody else? I don't think so.
Down next week. And we ask you to join us. Join us and come and be a part of the force that will stand up. Stand up. What a camera it is. We are going to stand again. And we keep running. We keep running.
Oh, okay. I couldn't see the screen just now. It will. It will.
Get up, stand up for your right. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Get up, stand up for your right. Get up, stand up, and don't give up the fight.
All right.
Get up, stand up, and stand up for your right. Get up, stand up, and don't give up the fight. Don't give up the fight. Don't give up the fight.
They call it to the
Don't give up the fight.
They call it to the
Don't give up the
All
fight.
right.
Don't give up the fight. 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 Stand up for your right.
Second row back stand. Second row back stand to the vehicle. All right, so we're getting ready to wrap up now, guys.
Come, guys, come.
Yeah. You can carry this, please?
Huh?
Can carry this, please?
Sure.
Yeah. All right, come on.
Okay. Raymond, are you here with us still? Raymond, are you here with us?
Yes, Devon, I'm here. Sorry.
Yeah. So let's talk a bit about that encounter with the police. You had some insight into that.
Yeah. Basically, they're just carrying out what is in the Public Order Act.
Mm-hmm.
And they are defining it. The act gives them the right to define people walking with signs and so on as a march.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a weakness that we would need to change.
Yeah. Yeah, and as we were saying, like we gotta tear up that law. You know, we gotta rip it in half and create a new constitution that prevents government from creating any act or any bills or any laws to actually ban protesting. Because how does it make sense for you to get a permit to protest against the entity that you're that you're protesting against, right? It just doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
Right? Because then if the government decides that it doesn't want you to speak on a certain issue, then it can use the police force as its lackey, you know, as its agent to
as it just
silence
did,
you.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right? So it's a problem because for anyone that just joining us, the police stopped the walkers twice. The first one was a police officer that stopped by to give us a fair warning. He was let me add somebody here. Yeah, he was very respectful in the conversation based on what I'm seeing. So he was saying that he was sent there by the DSP to give that warning, and then later on, the second rotation, the DSP showed up, Deputy Superintendent of Police, and he was basically giving us an education on the Constitution, saying that he defines it as a march, even though we define it as a walk. Now, his definition of a march means that if you're walking with your family, if you're walking with a group of people, you're marching, because he's saying that the Constitution doesn't give you the right to walk in a group, which is not true. That's actually completely incorrect, because you do have the right to assemble based on the Constitution, even though we know the Constitution is a fraudulent one, because on one hand it gives, and the other hand it takes, right?
Yeah, you see, the police actually don't enforce the Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
What they enforce is the laws. Now, the laws are supposed to be in harmony with the Constitution, and occasionally laws have been proven. Like there was the Gun Court Act, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, and that was proven to be unconstitutional.
Yeah.
So it would take a constitutional lawyer. This law goes way back to 1957.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't believe it's been challenged. It'd be interesting to know if a constitutional lawyer would be willing to take it up.
Yeah.
And challenge it. Because if Mr. Patterson and Winston, the perceived leaders of the quote-unquote march, had not complied with the DSP's order, I believe the next thing he would have done is to call for the truck.
Mm-hmm.
And they would have rounded up everybody and arrested everybody on the spot. So I think that wouldn't have achieved anything except people ending up having to go to court and be fined and get criminal records and all that.
Yes, one of the things, go ahead.
Yeah, I think a constitutional lawyer should probably look at the Constitution. I'm not one, so I don't know, and see if there's a challenge that could be mounted about this law. Because I agree with you. It is kind of ridiculous to ask the very power that you're protesting against to give you permission to protest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is all just completely surreal. Camille, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, I want to say something.
Go ahead, Zem.
Yeah, so I've been sitting here and watching the whole thing. One of the problems we have, right, especially here in Jamaica, people at large, to a large extent, but we deal with Jamaica because this is a space that I live and operate in. You know what I mean? And since the birth of my daughter, I start taking things a bit serious, you know, more serious. Because I understand the space that I want my daughter, my youth, them to grow up in. Okay? One of the things that I find with Jamaican public in general, we don't understand politics. We don't understand the rhetoric surrounding politics. We don't understand the rules of engagement. And I mean, when I was on campus, me and a lecturer in problem. I mean, I did this thing where I say, oh, the Jamaica Constabulary Force, even the name of it suggests that they have the legality to carry out certain act without any repercussion. You understand? Because when you go in the Black's Law Dictionary and you're defining who's a constable and the word force itself, it states there in the title, the Jamaica Constabulary Force, you give a man certain leeway to do and carry out a certain action without any repercussion, and so we have a problem there. I don't like to be getting a feeling that we're wasting my time, we're fooling myself. We know the history of the Constitution. I've read almost every first world constitution. I've read over 100 constitutions where that is concerned. And one of the most difficult documents that I've read as a university student is the Jamaican Constitution. Reason being, the Constitution is still in legalese language. The average man does not understand legalese language. You understand? There's no interpretation where that is concerned. And so that is a big problem. The average man should be able to take up the Constitution and read it and have a basic understanding of what it is saying. You understand? I read the political framework in Jamaica here. We don't even define properly what is an MP. We don't have the right to impeach any MP. We don't have the right to recall anybody, which is rubbish. We don't vote for the Senate. If I ask 100 people in the 100 normal people on the road, how does one go about to select the prime minister? They think they vote for the prime minister here in Jamaica, you know, in 2021. The recommend them vote for the prime minister. So we're having a problem. And the root of the problem is, we need to adjust it from there. So the root of the problem is the constitution that was handed down. You understand? That's the reason why we're in this limbo. And I don't like to get the feeling that we run around headless and saying, what is what. We have a problem with the constitution. There's a problem with the constitution. You understand? The constitution wasn't vested from we, the people, the power of the people. Understand? Going back to that word, you know, power. Now, if you listen to the common man rhetoric, you know, this party is in power. No, party is nothing in power. You understand? We look at politicians as gods or our bosses on them. So these are the framework and the mindset that we need to get rid of and push it with such a force that the average man understand what is going on. I can't say, oh, people elect persons, are you not, if you lose confidence in a particular MP, you don't have the power to impeach an MP or to recall him. We don't have any confidence in you, bro. You understand? We don't have any confidence in what you're doing and our interests. And so we would like somebody else to fill the spot. We don't have that right as a people, you know, in Jamaica. And there's a big problem there. You understand? We don't understand the law of contract, social contract between we and government, people and government. And that's a problem there. You understand? We don't sign any quid pro quo. We don't set up the framework and said, all right, then Devon is running for the MP for a particular constituent. You understand? All right, Devon, in order for you to serve or represent the people of this constituents, you know, these, hey, River, that is doing something, okay? Let's move on to the part, Boogie. Okay, we don't sign contracts and say, all right, Devon, here what? These are the terms that we are expecting for you to carry out, you know? You have, so for example, you have KFC, you have Burger King, you have McDonald's sponsoring you. In any event that by a particular time that you cannot carry out these duties, we would go ahead and pull the sponsorship from you, understand? And then we will recall the capacity that you're in to represent us as a people. We don't have that framework here in Jamaica, and that's a problem. Understand? So I would look. I'm a part of UIC because I see Devon and I listen to Mr. Patterson and I say, all right, at least we have some more bright individuals that I can look up to as a university student, just leaving university, etc. You understand? And forceful. So we need to approach that with the vim and the energy from a constitutional point of view, because we don't have a real constitution here in Jamaica that serves the people. You understand? We don't want to fool ourselves. We see what's going on with the presidents for the countries that don't support the injection. Another thing, it's not a vaccine in its normal sense. It's an experiment, right? And so they're using the word vaccine. So we need to push this information on the public and explain to them what a vaccine is and the reason why this is not, in its traditional sense, considered to be a vaccine. All right, the insert that is in the thing. There's nothing on the paper, you know. When you can take up a regular, it's a vaccine that has been to the trial for how much years. You can see the benefits of the side effects, etc. of the thing that you're putting in your body. For this, they have a big old paper there that is blank. Not even the doctors know what exactly is in the injection, my friend. You know what I mean? The scientists, the America frontline doctors, all of them being banned, the social media being pulled down, the website being pulled down, because they're saying, even the Nigerian doctor come and said, all right, hydroxychloroquine in lower doses amount, if you can get the population that what we call in the virus now would be over in 30 days. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you, but you see all the stuff that you're saying, just deplatformed from social media.
No, but that's one.
Is the truth, but we have to be careful.
Yeah, we have to be careful, you know. But what is it that what is our end goal? Because we have to, in order for us to make the proper change, we have to interrupt the system as we see. Yeah.
So let me tell you what we're doing right now. So right now, they're on the ground giving out 2 different flyers. So there's one flyer that's a bill to become an act, and that's a bill to make it illegal for the government to use force, fraud, or coercion to get a person in Jamaica to undergo a medical procedure that they don't want to do, and it enforces informed consent. So that's that one, and we're gonna be mailing that to all 63 MPs. But we need the support of the Jamaican people. They're there right now on the ground collecting signatures, which are gonna go towards the creation of a petition to get that bill into Parliament. And actually, I got an idea just now that we could create a bill to actually or amend that Public Order Act. The next flyer that they're giving out is a UIC self-help package, and that's for Jamaicans who are experiencing issues with their employers. Let's say your employer is saying, take the job or lose your job. Then we have documentation that you can provide to your employer to advise them that they are now accepting liability should any injury or should any death occur in the administration of this medical product. And we're doing the same thing for schools as well. And we've listed in the package choices that were provided to us by other doctors. If you guys were on last week, Saturday, you'd have seen the conversation with Dr. Ira Bernstein, a Toronto-based medical doctor. He's been about 28 years, right? So we have some stuff going on the ground right now, giving out to the Jamaican people, making sure that they're aware that help is there and that they can say no, right?
All right, so here's my question, Devon.
Yeah.
Immediately after this walk, what is the follow-up where this is concerned now?
So the follow-up is, as you're aware, they're going to be going from a city to city to city, but it's not just about, anybody watching will know, it's not just about going in the streets and shouting at people. It's about interacting with the people of Jamaica to let them know that they have a choice. So the minority we're the minority with a loud voice, right? So what we're trying to do is to wake the minority, the majority. So that's one aspect of it. So the people on the streets right now seeing the UIC, they're getting a dose of information. I'm quite certain that Mr. Patterson is there right now talking to people. Now, the other aspect of it, as I mentioned before, is the bill. So protests, marches, walks, whatever you want to call it, they're good to raise awareness to an issue. But if you don't have a follow-up where you can actually implement some form of change, then your efforts would have gone to waste, which is why we created that bill. The bill is complete. It's a bill that's completed. and we're going to be sharing it with Jamaicans very soon. And that bill is going to be, we want that bill to be tabled in Parliament, and we're going to demand that at least one of those 63 MPs tabled in Parliament. Now, we know that they won't do it, right? Yeah. But when they don't do it, it will go to show you that they don't truly care about the health of Jamaicans, and they don't care about Jamaicans in particular, because you have to ask yourself, did they give you free medication before this pandemic? For diabetes, for any illnesses that you may have? Did they give out free medication for those things? Yet they were willing to spend billions on these medications. So if they didn't care about you before, what makes you think they care about you today?
Very fishy to me.
All right, so I have a suggestion.
Go ahead.
Whilst we wait for the other walk to take place, right? Remember, I have a platform. You understand? Is it possible for Mr. Patterson to do a conference where we are pointing out to people, because a lot of persons are not attuned to the information on the other side, as you said earlier in the conversation, to show people the facts as it pertains to everything that is going on, the doctors that are being censored and the information that they are giving out, etc. So we could have that in one place, and it could be video, and we could stream it live, and we have that as what do you call it, electronic trail to tag the Prime Minister, to tag the MP, etc., as we're going forward, because we have to use up social media platform, and I think live streaming, etc., is a great way to go where that is concerned, especially people of my generation downwards. You understand?
So with the live stream, as I said before, we have to be careful, because this morning I woke up and I opened my phone and I saw that Facebook gave me a warning. Facebook gave the UIC page a warning. And the UIC page has not been posting anything that's out of the ordinary or anything that it considers to be fake news. If you go through our page, you won't see any fake news tags or anything. But yet we received a warning from Facebook that our page might be shut down.
Yeah, I received one also, and all I'm doing is reposting.
Yeah.
I mean, but can we make that deter us though?
The thing is, if you're deplatformed, you can't reach people. You get what I'm saying? If on this video right now, they shut us down right now, can't reach anybody. We're gonna have to focus on going into the street, which is a lot more expensive. And this is why we try to get our UIC members to donate to the UIC. So in our live streams, when we're doing stuff, we use certain keywords to avoid being flagged, but still Facebook still catches up on it, and and they still give us a hit. Right?
What about Rumble?
We are on Rumble. So what we've been doing lately is, for example, the last Walk for Liberty, we take clips from the Walk for Liberty and we post that on social media, and then we direct you to Rumble to watch the full video. So that's what we've been doing recently. And that avoids some of the hits from Facebook. But when it comes to going live and streaming live, because we don't want to endanger the page and the live stream, we try not to discuss certain things on the live stream.
Okay.
Right.
All right. So what about keeping the conference, then record it, put it up on Rumble, and encourage people over there to download Rumble?
Yes, we can do that.
So they can get the information properly.
We can do that. Yes. So let's talk offline about it.
Okay.
We'll talk more about it, because definitely I want to do that. I don't know what's going on the ground. I don't know if they're finished, but did they log out?
We need to check in with them to see.
I don't see them. They're not there. They disappeared.
I think it ended.
Yeah.
But I just want to say, Devon, that if the Jamaican people had any idea as to where we really are as a country, this in and of itself, this walk today, the police interaction and the police's interpretation of walk versus march, what have you, is a clear sign that what we're doing is so critical to our rights as human beings. I mean, it just really is sad that half of Jamaica was not out there with us. This is for everybody. This is not just for UIC members, supporters. This is for every Jamaican. And it would have been, I mean, it's so critical for Jamaicans. This is a non-partisan move. This is a non-partisan movement, education, to join us and to stand with us against this tyranny. It's the same thing is happening in the US. It's the same thing happening in Europe. I believe it's only Belgium, because they had passed some law and the Belgians protested and they had to withdraw the law for mandatory vaccine. I think, you know, I'm hoping I'm not misquoting them, but I'm just ad-libbing what I've read. So why is it that Jamaicans, I mean, we're known for so many things that's in a good, you know, exemplary manner. For example, we have the fastest man and the fastest woman in the world. We have so many other things. We have a group that got, I believe it was a mentorship with Microsoft to write programs. We have so many things. We have discovered medical cures, and we need to just stand up together without the barrier or the dividing, what should you say, the dividing wall between the different parties. I mean, that's exactly what they're trying, that's what they gave us, so we can divide, they can divide and conquer. Because anyhow we are united, they cannot conquer us, you know? And it's just, I'm hoping that intelligent people, you know, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to see this is a problem. I mean, that they need to join force with us in a non-partisan effort to come against this tyranny.
Yes. So I guess it's about time to wrap up right now. So if you have any last words, you can go ahead now, and then we'll close out. Anyone?
If I could just say something,
Sure.
following up on what Camille just said, you know, people, what is happening is that people are, when tyranny starts, people are afraid.
Mm-hmm.
People are afraid of being deplatformed. People are afraid of being arrested, like could have happened today. Because there are consequences to these actions. So it is, so we have to understand that it takes a certain amount of courage to stand up to tyranny and government overreach. Here in Canada, for example, this week, the government has just announced that they're going to make it mandatory for every single federal public servant to be vaccinated or they lose their job. And every single industry that is a federally controlled industry, including transportation, the health industry, various other industries involving millions of people.
And commercial flights as well. They're going to,
yeah, everything like that. I mean, bus drivers who drive across provinces. I mean, it's everything almost. Millions and millions of people are going to be forced to take the vaccine or lose their jobs. And a lot of people can't afford to lose their jobs, especially in this time of the pandemic, the few who are working.
Yeah.
So
it's not a choice.
Yeah, so we just have to,
right?
Yeah, we just have to find ways and means that, like we did today, where it's around the law where he allowed you to stand and protest. So maybe we need to change the strategy to have several, instead of marching from point to point, just say, okay, at X time we're going to gather here, next time we're going to gather here, and so you cover a town that way. If they will allow you to walk from point to point and then assemble, do it that way. We can get the message out.
The thing is, Raymond, the Public Order Act clearly states that you need a permit to assemble or gather as well, or to meet. Any meeting at all, you need a permit. So even if they were standing up and they decided that they don't want them to spread their message, they can arrest them based on the Public Order Act saying you need a permit to meet in public.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but I'm saying if the police are going to allow you to do that, then do what they allow.
Yeah.
And work it that way. Now you may go to another parish and the police interpret it differently. That's going to be a challenge. But yeah, and I don't know if it would help, because I really don't know. it could be a strategy we tried. One could meet with the officer in charge of the parish and get an agreement with them that, okay, they'll allow you. They don't give a permit per se, but they will say, okay, if you stand in one place, that will be okay with them. It, you know, I don't, it's worth a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
one last thing I wanted to say. One thing we definitely need to change in the Constitution is I know we're considering recall, but we also need to have a thing where if a number of citizens sign a petition, then the bill has to be tabled in the House. That should
remember, guys, remember we're still live, so some of these discussions may need to take place off air.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah. Okay.
But thank you for that, Raymond. Alicia, Errol, Cassandra, do you guys want to say anything before we wrap up? Let's see who else is here. Just make sure you unmute. Alicia, do you want to go ahead,
Can I say something? You know, I totally agree with what you said earlier, Camille, about the number of people, you know, who are out there protesting. I mean, you know, walking. You know, I don't know. They don't see what's at stake, really.
No.
I don't know what it takes, you know, for the people to wake up, because I mean, at the moment, what we're doing, there are going to be consequences. And if we just sit by or stand by and just look at the consequence, we will never go ahead. Because that's exactly what the majority of Jamaicans are looking at. They're just looking at what if, you know, what if. If, you know, those people who have fought, you understand, for the freedom, you understand, of the Jamaicans, or, you know, our forefathers, or who have fought for our freedoms. I mean, if they stood by and were just looking at the consequence, I mean, you know, we wouldn't have been where we are at this moment. We would be, even though we are still in, unfortunately, we are still in modern slavery.
Indeed. And someone made mention that with the advent of social media, everybody's doing their fight verbally only on social media. They're not, you know, talk is cheap, and you gotta do, you know.
And the fight, you can see that, you know, many of them water down their word, really. Their fight is not really, it's not direct.
But
it's
even so,
indirect.
Even so, we're glad that everyone came out, supporting us in the WhatsApp group, even coming out on this live, you know, with the Zoom live here. But thank you so much, Cernet. Cassandra, you have your hand raised. Go ahead, because we're wrapping up now, guys. Go ahead, Cassandra. Cassandra, you're muted.
I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry. I was kind of busy, but just to say that a lot of important points has been made. One, and you're so correct that when it comes to us actually putting walk to talk, the majority will shy away from it. And most of the times in standing for what is right here in Jamaica, you get a lot of fight. And because of that, fear take over majority of us, and then we tend to shy back and just sink back in the system and just go back instead of standing out, because standing out comes with consequences. But if we truly acknowledge and accept the consequences and understand that somebody has to fight, somebody has to die in order for somebody to live, because without doing, our heroes had given up their life, and even Jesus Christ himself, where would we be today? Where would we be today? And if the system is not for the people, then it's against us. Then why are we going to support the system? So I do give thanks for UIC, and I was hoping and praying and waiting for somebody else to see things from my perspective and my point of view. Because majority of the time it seems like I'm crazy, because I don't have diploma or degree, but I research and I'm well informed because of my child. So I have to, because I'm his voice. And when you speak to citizens about stuff like these and you bring it to their attention, they're like, you're crazy. And those are all just those are not truth. Those are all just
conspiracy.
That's the word. Thank you very much, Camille. Those are all just conspiracy. But you're there like looking and saying the truth is in front of our eyes. Isn't all of us seeing this? Are we crazy? And then they try to sugarcoat and push it one side. If they can hush you up by giving you something and then you take it, they will shut you up. But if they see that you won't take what they're giving and sink under pressure and you're bold enough and courageous enough and anointed enough and believe that you're going to stand for something and not fall for anything and fight for what you stand for and stand for what you fight for, then guess what? It's going to come with consequence. But united we stand, divided we fall. Somebody has to stand up to make a change for those that are unable to, those who are misinformed, and those who don't want to be anybody's guinea pig but are afraid to do so, because Jamaicans want somebody stand up. Believe me, you're going to have a lot of person coming out, but that is where the system will add pressure to us. So is the UCI really truly and prepared to deal with the consequences? Because you have a bold person right here who is ready to support in any way I possibly can.
Well, well said. Well said. Just make sure you come on our WhatsApp, not our WhatsApp, but our Facebook page, so that we can interact directly and give you some more information and get you involved with us. Okay.
I'm already there.
Okay. Thank
I'm
you.
there.
Yes, I'm sure you are. We wouldn't have. But thank you so much, Cassandra.
And thank you guys for allowing me the privilege to. God bless you.
God bless you too. Is there anybody else that had something to say before we wrap up? Andrea, did you have any, or Errol, did you have any input you'd like to add? Andrea, are you? It looks like you're unmuted. I'm not hearing you, Andrea. All right. So, Andrea, I'm not hearing you, my dear. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for being here with us. We appreciate you sacrificing your Saturday morning. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And please join us again. We will be here next Saturday. I believe we're doing Spanish Town. Is that correct, Devon?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And we also have a health forum that's coming up in the next few weeks as well. So we'll keep you posted. Just make sure you check in on our Facebook page or UIC Jamaica. And our website, I'll give that to you, is uicjamaica.com. Please also become a member on our website. Help us to fund these walks with the different expenses that we have. We appreciate you donating to us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All those who already did. Again, thank you guys, and we will just wrap up our walk for liberty today in Portmore. Thank you all, and have a good afternoon.
Thank you too. Bye-bye.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Devon.
Bye.
Alrighty, bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.